You are about to enter the mind and body of a New York City firefighter. Raw, burning, and uncut. Tales of trauma and paths toward recovery using tools like TRE. Warning, this will not be an easy ride. The sirens will be blaring and the flames choking. But you, healing through shaking and tremoring. This is a conversation with Captain Robert Cefoli. Today, let's talk about your use of TRE with the firefighters, with your family, perhaps with yourself, how that's been helping heal your nervous system and make your life better. But before we go there, let's talk about the sort of existing state of affairs, what the world of firefighting is like, kind of the good and the bad and the ugly and the beautiful and the pains and the challenges. We'll go to TRE later, but first let's talk about, what are things like?
Well, thank you, Mike, for having me on. I appreciate it. This is fun. It's been fun. It's been a challenge so far, just trying to get this going. But it's a process, and like anything else, you're trained to handle stress, right? That's your job, right? So it's a similar thing. Like, so now this type of issues, like where you're like, oh my God, there's tech issues. It is what it is. Like it's a very minimal issue if you have experience with bigger issues, So, and if you do it long enough, you build up this callousness, I guess you can call it.
Yeah. I mean, you're going straight into fires. People are dying. You feel guilt, lack of sleep. There's all kinds of...
Yeah, like the record button doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm freaking out about my record
button.
It's like,
no.
My cushy podcaster problems.
and that sometimes causes issues, like especially at home, because you're not dealing with firefighters in your house. You're dealing with civilians. And they freak out on certain things, and you're like, it's not a big deal. It's just not. And they're like, well, you're crazy. I'm like, no, it's just not. That's who we are. You become that. You have to be. You have to be able to just not process the civilian stuff, all the emotions, right? That's what it comes down to. This is the basis of the nervous system issues in TRE. It's that simple. You're getting disconnected doing the job, right? So you have to be sympathetic to respond. And you cannot be parasympathetic because you can't be crying about it while you're doing it. That's plain and simple. So we do our job. We act on information. It's repetitive. So after a little bit of time, early in your career, you're just going to be unplugged. And then you're going to lose the whole you. That's a fact, right? That's science. And if you're not aware of it, you're not looking for that problem. You're looking at it from a place of physical injury and recovery, and you're not looking at it from the trauma of the events that you go through as you do that profession. And yes, you chose it. Of course you chose it because something drives you into that line of work. It should anyway. It should. Not everyone is looking at it from that lens. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so maybe you can illustrate this with some of these. I don't want to force you to recount these traumatic firefighting events, but maybe some story or two to illustrate what sort of things firefighters go through that might cause them to have to disembody and sort of disengage from their internal senses and stuff and stay in this sort of hyper energetic mode, yet at the same time kind of disembodied at the same time. Yeah, what are some examples or stories or memories if you want to share any?
I'll always share, but for a long time I didn't. You know what I'm saying? You become okay and peace when you start to heal, right? And I think awareness of what you've taken on in your life, right? Because we're always impacted by everything, right, around us, and even in this society today, which is part of it, is the amount of impact people are having, and the stress levels of worrying about things that are completely irrelevant in your life, because it's driven into your phone and it's into your iPads and everybody's doing it. You're getting sucked into this world. That's causing a problem just off the bat because you're involved in society. We're a subset of society. So when we look at firefighters and what happens to us, you got to look at the whole picture too. Everyone in New York City is probably at a higher stress level than people that live in Austin, Texas, maybe. or a rural town, right? It's the energy here, the amount of moving parts at a fast pace. Like we're pretty proud of being hard workers in New York, right? It's like your bravado. Like we got it done with fast pace, blah blah blah. That's why when you go somewhere else, everything's so slow. Like, no, man, let's go. But that's normal life to other places. We're just so conditioned to just mayhem,
Yeah.
traffic, right?
Uh,
Fucking sorry.
no, it's good. Go for it. Like, let's break loose.
You're sitting in a car in traffic for an hour to go. You're on 4 miles an hour, and then if there's a phone on, like whatever, people watching, people watching TVs in their cars, man. Like it's crazy. Like watching like all this stuff. So they're getting bombarded. They're in traffic. Like you get to work, you're like Then you got to work, right? And a normal job, it's like you can get fired at any time. Like you could just like suck and they fire you. A firefighter has a union. Like we have strength. Like we support each other, pick people up. Like we have security there. Like it's a safe, secure job, blue collar, like America. It's like FDNY, like
Yeah.
From my thing, it was just like I didn't want to sit at a desk, and like I didn't know what I wanted, and I went to college, right? And thank God because they helped me get promoted as well. Like it's just like that wasn't for that. It was for this maybe a setup, right? So I didn't go. I went to management, business management, all that stuff. I'm like, that doesn't feel right. I quit that, became a trainer, and then I got in the fire department. And my father was a carpenter, and my mother was a lunch lady. Like, you got to go to college, get a better job. Like they're trying to level you up, and they're just going based off what they know, right? That they work very hard. My dad works with his hands, and like at the time in the '90s, you go to college and you're going to get a good job. That's going to give you a good life because it's the middle class mentality is, we came from Brooklyn, and then they bought like the house from the apartment. They saved their money. My mom does the envelopes, like it's the old Italian thing, and it's crazy. And then you're like, that's the condition, but they try to keep me out of it, but it pulls you into it. So it's not their plan. Like there's a plan for everyone. But you look back now, it's like, okay, makes sense. But now I'm feeling recently, now you fast forward, it's like, it's really coming to fruition. And now I have the ability to have that perspective, which is driving the pursuits that we're doing now. And getting back to your point, the reason why that happens is because I have been through a few different incidents on the job that we will get into originally before I got off track. Sorry, but it's all relevant. And yeah, as a young firefighter, I was involved in a line of duty death that I could talk about. It's fine. I've talked to people about it. It's not a big deal. It was a huge experience in my life, though. It was a horrific thing, and at the time, you go through these things, and you're not really aware that what happened to you, right? Like the effect of it. You've done the experience, you've lived it, and you do remember it, and then you relive it again, right? That's an automatic response in the body, right? So it keeps causing that pressure and tension that ultimately causes dysfunction in us, right? That's the traumatic side. And, it took, I did the therapies and the counseling right away. They put you right out. And, it was a not helpful thing for me because initially you're not even processing it yet. For real. Like your body's got it, but you're not totally aware of the effect that soon. It takes a time to process. So then you start to feel like fucked up. And what happened with my situation was the event happens, and it was like a wind driven fire in a high rise fireproof building. We were like not the first new company, so we were like the third new engine. So we're supposed to have a second hand line at the time. And things got out of hand. It's snowball effect. Things get really dicey up there. Guys are bailing out. And this is one of the fires that you go to, and it's like, oh shit, like you go to a lot of jobs and runs throughout career. Now I'm about 20 years, and it's like, wow, you look back, well, I experienced a lot of stuff, and 99% of it's like whatever, and then it's the 1% of it, it's like the oh shit, okay, and that's what we train for. That's why we try to better ourselves. That's why you should do that. You should keep it a priority. My habits are the priority. Like I've always worked out let's say. I've done it what I thought was right at the time from the knowledge. And as we progress, it's 20 years later now. It's like, okay, a lot more knowledge, a lot more understanding, but it was the release of the trauma. And it's not just the job trauma, it's other stuff. And we can talk about that, sleep, the alcohol, all that stuff, things that go along with the careers of first responders. It's a real thing. It's not, just people want to like look at those people and emulate them and like, oh, every wave we beep, the whole thing. That's great. But it takes a lot and you get a lot of residue in your life. You can acknowledge it or you might not even know it. You might not identify it.
Yeah.
So the TRE sessions with Cefoli, it came out of just pain. So the pivotal point of getting TRE was the pain I was feeling. How that came to fruition was overload of stress, right? Because ultimately I know how to train. I know how to recover. I do myofascial SMR, myofascial release, right? All the time. I've done it all the time. I teach people, right? As the health and fitness guy in the fire department, New York, thousands of candidates come through. But for me, I was still limiting my potential and I didn't realize what was happening to me. It was actually I was degrading to a point where I was going to kind of quit that unit. I'm not physically ready to do this anymore. Like I'm so much, it was like so tense in my body. I couldn't even get in and out of my car without like holding like a breath hold and get out and in and up and down out of bed. And, I had my two young boys recently went through COVID. It was like, had neck injury, running the unit, running my company. I'm divorced. I have like a daughter with an ex-wife. We were still in court with 10 years in court from a business venture years ago, which was part of, what I do now. It was a nutritional company that we worked together, but I was also a trainer. And I'm like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. I like helping people get better. Basically, like I train people. I want to see them succeed. That's what I like to do. This is the perfect position for me now, and it's a real thing. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I love to do it. So that's one of my main purposes. But that's also who I am all the time. My kids know it because they're working out with me in like the gym. Like it's workout time, and it's part of a routine that we do. And we're wired that way as firefighters too, like to have that, order of things. The committee work gets done early in the morning. Like we get up, roll call, drill, boom, take care of everything. Take care of people, go on the runs, get ready, work out. That's a firefighter. It's your job. You're there to serve the public. And it could be their like perception of it's like, oh my God, and we're like, it's not a big deal. Or it's like, time to go to fucking work. And there's no time to mess around. Like there's no time for, oh man, like whatever. So your body and just goes click and your parasympathetic state goes to bed and you don't even know it. And then you go through the issues at home because you've now become your job. You're not you anymore. And, you can validate, why are you an asshole at home? Like, why are you sarcastic? Because when you're in the firehouse, like you're busting each other's balls so much. It's a way that we cope. It's fun it's a way for us to just not think about anything like the stuff that bothers us. We bury it. And it buries in your body and it buries your whole career. And we have so many guys that, and I'm learning this now, like I really didn't realize it, but there's so many guys that are seeking help, like they're seeking counseling. We have twice the suicide rate of everyone else. First responders, firefighters, it's all pretty much the same. Cops. It's just like we have alcohol issues, abuse issues, stuff like that. Divorces through the roof. I have a divorce. It's like I'm not afraid to talk a little bit about it. But it's part of what has impacted you in your life. And again, now you're adding the firefighting, the shift work, the sleep. I work, I don't know, 100 hours this week. It's like you got 4 kids. It's like schedules, fucking, cooking, shopping, food's up, gas is up, traffic is a nightmare. Nobody's sleeping, baby's up at night. Fucking wife wants to kill me. It's like, go to work and with a clear head because you got to have a fucking, that's the thing. Like we have to go to work. Like we're going to fucking work. We are way too fucking distracted. There's too much input on everybody and society's got that, right? Everybody here in New York City, you go driving on that highway, BQE, belt part, and it's just like bumper to bumper, and it's 4 miles an hour. And it's like, what the fuck? Where is everyone going? It's like 9:30 on a Tuesday, and there's like, it's like massive traffic jams. They didn't even do the new tolls and that. Go in Manhattan, pay extra $15 to go to work. People are going nuts, bro. Nuts. So we're all getting this input, and that's stress right there. That's chronic stress. Nobody wants to talk about how that affects us as firefighters. It's worse for us now. 20 years ago, no internet, whatever, no TVs, like, kitchen. Now you got guys on there's phones everywhere because everybody has a phone. Everybody's able to access information constant. The sleep's already screwed up, and my wife will be, on her phone at night. You're not sleeping. Turn that shit off. Turn it off. And then because now your sleep schedule is also screwed up, right? And we get that. Now I come home and a baby needs a bottle. Okay, well, gotta get up again. Yeah. So then it's like not 3 nights a week. It's 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week, all the nights. And that's most guys, because most guys are family guys. Most guys, raise kids. It's blue collar. Like we're proud people that, for the most part, are doers and like gung ho and get the job done and task oriented and like great house husbands. Like 16 hours a day, I'm up with my kids home, and it's on. And I have to like prepare for that. I'm like, I got to make sure I hydrate. It's like going to war sometimes to manage all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I choose the chaos over the convenience of here's an iPad.
Yeah. Well, thanks for highlighting this whole background thing of like, you're a firefighter, but that's a big piece of it, but it's a small piece of it. There's this bigger, larger modern life. There's this big city. This is New York. There's family. There's divorces. There's all kinds of personal health problems, perhaps, and it's all one big freaking life.
And the last 5 years gotten even a little tougher. We had a lot of issues with the COVID shutdown, and I feel people got pulled apart in the city because it was so like one or the other. You're not having discussions. It was like a complete divide of everyone, and everyone went through that. And so everyone that came through the academy after that had like sympathetic breathing issues, like mask issues, training. Like they had issues chilling, where you're supposed to remain calm, slow down your breathing, focus on your task, wear your mask. Like, that's what you get trained for. You get trained to be able to do your job, which means you cannot have anything else but this is what I got to do. And just when I do that, everything works out great for the most part.
Yeah. And I keep muting myself because I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got jackhammers and ambulances playing a little orchestra in the background.
Oh,
this is one of the beauties of a modern city life.
God.
But it's like something so small compared to your stuff, what you're talking about. But still, it's like those little things too are there. I just came back from like the nature area of Japan. It's like here you go to Osaka, Tokyo, people's faces are like all like they don't have access to their facial muscles. They're not making eye contact. Their smiles are not there. They're kind of stressed out,
Yeah.
This is Japan. Japan's probably way better than like New York, at least because Japan's at least safe and it's not crime and stuff like that. But up there, people are smiling and they're looking at you and they're saying hi, and it's nice. But this big city life, man, I don't know. New York's got to be the biggest of them all.
I could feel it more. I tell you that much. I think a year of doing TRE has been a profound change in what my perception of things is and what I feel, because I do feel more again. I really do. It's weird because you're like a certain person forever, and you're validating it because you don't want to look into what's really going on, right? Because you're not thinking about it like that. You're like, this is who I am. This is who I am. And it's just who you become. You are you. Your habits are your habits, but you don't become that. The job is like imprinted upon you, and you're just taking it home. And you're taking it home because you now are one-sided. You're one-sided. You have to be one-sided, and you're not able to access those relaxed feelings, the emotions that, when you feel your kids. Like I remember after TRE, when I came home, like one of the days my kids were playing, and I felt like in my gut, really like a lot of joy. And I can honestly tell you that I can't remember if I ever felt like that, like for real. And I realized like feelings are really feelings. Like we are shut down, and we think we are happy. We think we are in love with our wife, and like we think we are because we're going through the motions. Does that make sense? And I really feel now because I have more intuition, I have more sense about things because I've released a lot of baggage, and a lot of the trauma comes out of you and it's buried inside of, and you don't even know it for 15 years. You know, my event was 2008, one of the major ones, you know? And I remember like going to counseling and like you're you're talking to a therapist and it's like, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm sorry. You're like, first of all, you're not a firefighter. Second of all, you're like 25 years old and you're asking me these questions. I want to punch you in the face. Like, fuck you. Like, who are you? And then you say, all right, that doesn't work for me. The morning I went home, me and my friend drank a bottle of vodka. It was just like surreal. Like, it was like whatever time it was, 7 a.m. Get home, like, what the fuck just happened? And I need a fucking drink.
Yeah. I remember like when my mom died, I got this call from my sister. She's like, yeah, my mom died. And like, I'm like in this like disassociated state while at work. I'm
Right.
like, whoa. And I get home. On the way home, I buy a bottle of whiskey and I drink the whole bottle.
Yeah.
I know you're not supposed to do. That's not how you're not supposed to treat your mom dying, you know. But like that's what I went for, and I don't regret it because then that night I started writing like crazy, this drunk writing and recording my thoughts and stuff. And maybe there were better ways to do that. Like I should have gone. I don't know, whatever the supposed rules are, but I was like, I know alcohol is bad for you and this is not the way out, but I'm like, no, this is good. And I just went into it and it was fine.
You have to talk about it. You got to listen, Mike, it has to be talked about. It's not like it doesn't go on. It goes on because you're trying to take this feeling you have and get it the fuck away right now. Like, boom. See, that's the cope. Right? There's coping mechanisms. Some guys go even further, you know, and that's society in general. It's just we're like a little part of society. We're not anything different. We're also that. So it's like you got to look at the compound effect of everything, because just like fitness, you're not just going to work out and think you're going to get this whatever goal it is or result. You're not going to get weight loss if you're not following a lot of different areas and looking at everything and have data. You know, we're big data people. We look at thousands of these candidates coming through. We track data. We have databases because we're looking for like trends and what's going on so we can make our program better, you know? And you're trying to always face worse and worse conditioned people. It's a societal thing because they're coming through the door and they're like behind the 8 ball, where you should be raring to go. You should be raring to go because the passion you have to do the job should be innate in you. It's a calling.
Looking back on all the people you're training and yourself before you became a firefighter, do people in certain nervous system states tend to gravitate towards jobs like firefighting and police officer work and that kind of thing? Or does a job change their nervous system? It might be a bit of both.
I think that it wouldn't be a nervous system state earlier as much unless you've been through some shit, right? So if you've been through a tough childhood, you're going to have a lot of internal trauma. You know, if you're beat as a kid, whatever it is, split home. My daughter is a product of that, a split home for most of her life. So my current wife and I, 7 or 8 years here, and then her mom. Like, so no problem. No, we never have confrontations for anything. But we've been in court for 10 fucking years. And it's for no other reason that people feel like you never do anything alone. And if you can't compromise, then there's no way you're getting out of a situation if somebody's complaining to you. And the court is insane. But you know, we mediated our divorce. Everything was good. We were gone. We didn't have a parenting schedule. And it really caused me to go to the fire academy, to be honest, because I had to get out of the schedule of the firehouse when it was getting so stressful to figure out a schedule, you know, deal with her, like trying to figure out her schedule and like work. And you're 24, but you have a partner you're able to work with. So it's not just me saying, oh, I have to do this 24 or whatever, or this day tour, night tour. We have split schedules. We do 48 hours, you know, split up. And I'm like, I can't put this guy through it. I felt so guilty. I'm like, I got to just get out of the firehouse. And at the time, there was a change in the director of fitness. And knowing that I was a trainer and I did CPAT, which is, training for the CPAT exam, which got me to know this guy, went up there, he said, come to the unit. And it helped me just stabilize the schedule for my daughter. And I don't think many people know that. I didn't want to leave the firehouse. I'm actually getting a little bit emotional, to be honest with you, because you leave a firehouse, it's not, some guys are like, okay, I get it. And some guys are like, he's a fucking asshole. It's just what it is. And I pride myself on not being that guy. It's just like, it was a setup for me. It was a big problem in my life, but it actually put me in a very good position. That's my viewpoint now.
But some of your firefighting buddies might have misperceived the situation or something.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a firehouse, man. Like it's like, don't let the truth get in the way of a good rumor, whatever.
Right.
It doesn't affect me anymore. But at the time it was like one of the worst feelings I've had, and it's carried forward and it's caused friction in every part of my life for a decade. And financially, just like set me back so long. In my brain, that's how I always looked at it. This is really bad situation. It's stopping me from progress. It was like stifling me. When we did the business, we helped people online. We were on stage. People, like, we had a team. It was like a crazy thing that you say, that's not going to work. But because I could train people, I could give better information. I apparently have a way to talk about things that resonate because I'm on a podcast now and people are interested in what I have to say. And I think, to be honest, the story of this, our state as firefighters, the message is my purpose to bring out and really highlight, because we're doing now nonprofit work. We want to keep moving, like this fire tribe. We just updated all this stuff. We're evolving. We want to help people heal from this stuff. And the TRE workshops that we've created, how do we get it to people? We have to look to campaigning and providing these services. It's a mental health initiative, really, but it's a bottom up approach. We pride ourselves from the body, because that's who we are. We have to get back inside ourselves first to really start to unravel everything. And TRE is good for us because we don't talk about shit. So we don't have to talk about nothing. Yeah. We just got to heal from the trauma, heal from the tension, open the body back up. It gets you to move forward. And this all came out of it, but it was crushing for 10 years. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm coming up on 20 years. I'm a captain now. I have a lot of responsibilities. My family's growing. It's okay. Maybe I have a tiny bit of stress. That's what I said to my friend Adrian, one of my lieutenants, who's been a really good angel for me, because he's like a healer. He knows the body so well. He's been through a lot physically and kept himself on the job. Another 20-year guy, officer, and part of we have the tribe. We have three of us officers that came together and really realized that we had to do something. So we work within the department and we do our work there, and we try to push initiatives and have the best data, right? And we started the TRE workshops, and we're like, we got to get to retirees. These guys are suffering. My neighbors, I got guys I know that are suffering, and you have something now that's going to help them, because you've been healed and are in the process of getting better, because it's not just one and done. It's a continuation. It's something you got to incorporate into your life, and you also got to incorporate the other methods that we use to help the body recover, the posture, the muscle, the breath work, right? All of that, the SMR, all of those things matter in the sense of you have to get your body to release everything that it's fucking holding on to, because you're not able to get rid of it through talk therapy. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. You're actually reliving these events. You're forcing people to relive events. Not saying it doesn't work after the fact. Like, it probably should go in succession to, or in parallel to, somatic stuff. Of course, the body has to get rid of it as well as the brain. They're not the same. So your nervous system is not how you think.
Right. But firefighters and certain other people, some people, talk therapy or the top-down approaches like talk therapy and CBT and this and that seem to be the sort of main approaches in our society, at least in the United States, and I guess pharmaceuticals would be the other one. But then these body-based approaches are definitely the most effective route into healing for people like yourself, but also a lot of your friends, people in the firefighter community, and maybe police officers too, perhaps. Why is it that these you've sort of already explained it, but yeah, let's dig a little bit deeper into why these bottom-up approaches are more effective and why these top-down ones are just like you want to punch the guy in the face.
Right. Well, I wouldn't compare them. I would say they have to complement each other.
Okay.
Because you're getting someone who cannot talk about it because they're just going to get another response like it's happening again. Every time you discuss it, the feelings rise up from the body and it comes right back because it's an automatic response of that system. You can't control it. I can't think it like, don't do that. So the visual or the like seeing a dead baby, seeing someone's brains on the floor, hearing a dad's voice screaming, Joey, when like, because you cut the kid's shirt open and you worked on him and you got to go back and have breakfast. That voice doesn't leave. Again, you see what's happening. The body goes, holy fuck, again. So you need a method to now get it out. Again, that's why you have to continue to do this. You have to continue to have these good habits because no matter what, even if it comes up again, it will stay with you unless you release it. And then through the releasing of that tension, you could flood. Like I had a flooding event with Dr. Cefoli. And Dr. Cefoli was brought in by Adrian after we had started a little bit of TRE, when we went back to last year's class in the spring. And I really was just in a bad place physically. And he just looks at me, he's like, you got a lot of stress. Your back is super tight. I had no circulation. He struck me with his thumb. It was like, it stayed white like a zebra. He's like, you have no circulation, dude. I've never seen a back that tight. And he's been like a massage therapist for 10 years, I think, like hundreds of people. And I'm like, really? I'm like, that's interesting. I go, you really think so? And I'm like, I'll do anything right now. So whatever he told me, because I know he's much smarter than me in the technical realm, and he knows the body very well. And he started talking about myofascial change and this and that. We have to do this, and this is the strength training program. I couldn't even get up off a box without having to like really like hold my breath and like rock and get up. I couldn't just stand up. And I'm like, I can't run, I can't squat. I was bound up. And it was, I think, everything leading up to that point. I really do. It's like, because I never addressed it. Like I tried my best, but everything seemed to be getting more difficult. And I'd have better upswings and downswings, like everybody else. Injuries, setbacks. I had plantar fasciitis for like 8 months, but I had to walk around with it, do my job, because I'm in charge. I have responsibilities. That's who we are. You're not gonna, some people be like, oh, my foot hurts, I gotta take a sick day. Like just fucking deal with it, right? If it ain't that bad, we got shit to do. It's really a way of being, because it's not just you're not gonna fake it at work. People are gonna know you're full of shit.
And then how did you discover TRE? Did David Berselli just come into the station one day and do a little presentation?
No.
How did it?
No.
How did you find him?
It's a funny story. I have a lot of stories, so get ready.
Yeah. I love them.
So
story time.
It's very simple. You have an effect of something that you experience, and it's like, let's try this thing on the ground where your leg shake. It's called TRE. Now he's talking to me now. Adrian is a interesting fellow because he knows a lot, and I'm trying to follow what he's saying. I'm like, I'm not really getting what it is he's saying, but I'm like, whatever you want me to do, we'll do it. And we just like basically we worked out. He's like, you're good. You go on the floor and your legs will shake. Like put them together. This is what's gonna happen. And that's how like I'm processing it. If you could like how I'm saying it is like, all right, whatever, man. Just put it together. Yep, hold tension here. Cool, no problem. All right, yeah, it's shaking. All right, that's cool. That's weird. I'll do 10 minutes. Relax. That's fucking weird, dude. I don't know. Strangest thing. Legs shaking, not controlling it. That's weird. And then we'll commit to it. 10 minutes after your workout, 5, 6, 8, every day. That'll be like recovery, because it'll help loosen the body up somehow. And I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird. But I was like really hurt. So I'm like, I want to feel better. And about 7 days, 8 days, something like that, I was honestly like 50% more mobile. I was like, holy shit, like I can get out of bed and like it wasn't killing me. I can get out of the car and like it wasn't killing me. I was like starting to like work out a little more. I'm like, all right, I feel good. Like I was moving better. I started doing like weighted squats now, and I'm like, holy shit, like cool. It's all working together. Doing a lot of following a program that wasn't mine, and it added that. And then I'm like, dude, this is fucking pretty good. And then he's like a research guy. He's like got fucking research papers. He's like, oh my god, look at this. We gotta get this guy Cefoli down here. I was like, who the fuck is Dr. Cefoli? You know, like I don't know. I'm like whatever, man. Sounds great. I feel good. Let's make it happen. And to be honest, I've done a lot of things like that. I'm like, all right, experience it. It looks good. It'll be good for a lot of people. Then let's propose it. So we proposed it to get this training from Dr. Cefoli. He was going to come in directly because with the first agency, like I guess. But he's been all over the world. This guy. He's been doing this forever, and he's like he's a body work guy. So very unique individual, smart, but like really genuine, super good energy, like loving, not typical like fireman, like New York City firefighter. So he's training us, and it's like this guy's been all over the world. He's worked in these war-torn areas, and it's like he saw what's happening with that response in the body, right? From the body. Everything. That every stress you get, every lawyer's phone call, like, fuck, like, god damn it, what now? Like every run at 3 a.m, like, oh fuck, gotta get down, like, you know, fire, fuck, people trapped. Let's go. Come back, holy fuck. Like, you know, it's a constant up. You walk into the firehouse, you're elevated already because you're waiting for that tone to go off. You're like Pavlov's dog, you know, like just go, get your shit. Boom, let's go. On the rig. It's over and over again. And some places it's like insanity. It's like the amount of runs in New York City is gone through the roof. Some places it's not, but it doesn't matter. You're gonna have one fucking job, and it's an oh shit. It's an oh shit. Fuck. Shit's fucking on, man. You better know your job. Better be able to fucking come to the game because people are gonna fucking die, and they do. And when you're part of that, that's like a fucking another level, man. You know, like you're grabbing on this guy, you're looking, and it's like I remember I'm like in this apartment, I'm like there's nobody fucking in here. Like I've never been to a fire where there was no guys. There was like fucking 100 guys at a job. Guys are bowling over the stairs to get into a fucking fire, man. That's a firefighter, bro. You know?
Yeah.
Like you got to feel that charge.
That's insane.
That's like a rush, dude. You salivate. And if you don't, I don't know. Maybe it's not like that, but for me, it's like that. It's funny because I'm pretty sure there's a majority of guys like that. Because I work with a lot of them. And you go to these areas on purpose. Like you're like, let's go fucking, I want to go to work. You graduate the fire academy. Like the first thing you want to do is go to a fucking fire. That's it. It's the only thing you should want to do.
Yeah.
Not like, you don't want to think like the perspective of, oh, like, hope we don't have any runs tonight. Like, hope we don't go out the door. Like, hope I can get some, I don't have to do nothing. Like, you're in the fucking wrong job, man. It's the wrong career.
Yeah.
This is about it's like saving people. You can't half-ass that in your soul. You gotta, that's why it's a brotherhood. And like, that's why people like do that are like tight, man. It's such a good support system. And it also could be a bad coping system because in tradition, right? We talk about alcohol. It's in everything because we're all like, and I know guys that went off and had to go away and come back and all that stuff. And I've had my share. I've after the 2008 event, man. Yeah, and I was in a fraternity. I was in high school. You bleachers, a kite party. You know, like you start doing that early. You have it, right? Why do you do that? It's cool, whatever. It's fun, but it honestly became part of an identity of who I was, which caused a lot of issues in my life, right? From that, because you're not taking care of yourself at that point. So guys will struggle with that, you know, they'll struggle with other stuff too. It's just, if you're not aware that that's not your identity and you're doing it because you're feeling something and you got to like knock it out. I would have flashbacks in my apartment with my, you know, fiance. I'd be like crawling around on the floor, like reliving, crawling the whole way and fucking this is what it was like. It's crazy.
Like you're drunk reenacting the firefighting thing, or are you sober at that point?
It's like a traumatic reliving of it because you've gone past the suppressing feeling to like the fucking blackout.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now you're in a relationship. It's not a fucking good look. It's crazy looking to other people, but you're like you're fucking trauma. It's like trauma, man. Like you got everybody, that military, police, first responders, man. Anyone that's why we have a double suicide rate than the country. It's twice as many people in the population just fucking, and it could be late. It could be even your like later years. You're just cutting them off. You're getting cut off because your sleep is fucked. Takes 10 years or whatever. Like you don't have to be specific about it, but like if you want to have a real conversation, when you sign up to be a firefighter, everybody's like, oh, you signed up? Well, yeah, because you're going there to be a fucking superhero. You want to literally go into a fire. That's the exciting part. To do the thing, because all your life you've seen the guys drive down the street in the truck, and they're the fucking heroes, dude. You're a fucking hero. But it's not all glamorous. And there's a lot of residue. And there's a lot of shit that happens to your body that we've like, this is how we can heal. Let's put together what we fucking really need. Not bullshit. Because we have to address that. You can do things after, but the foundational components of the TRE, the posture, the nutrition, the cardiovascular protocols that you have to follow so you can fucking breathe again. And you can like pulsate, and like TRE pulsates your body back. It was frozen. Like my torso, it took me months of this tremoring to do it. But Berselli, when he came, and we got approved, we got support for it. How could you not support something that can help people mentally, physically, longevity? Like that's the whole point. Like you do a great service, you like get longevity, you get like security, you get a pension, you work hard for that fucking money. Because you have a family and you got to pay all the fucking bills and you got to like make it work and you got you try to buy a house. Try to buy a fucking house today on Staten Island in New York City.
Can't.
It's $1 million, dude. Like what do you make? 100,000? It sounds like a lot. The society has gone crazy, and you're trying to live and make it all work, and like the fucking schedules and the kid. And I'm like, it's not that bad, right? It's like I was always the guy. It's not that bad because I didn't go to war. I wasn't in the military. I know guys had it much worse. I know this guy had it much worse. I know whatever. All right. Now you got to stop thinking that way and be like, okay, whatever I experienced, the body fucking experienced without me thinking about it. So, oh yeah, I did go through these tough jobs. I did see this kid's fucking brains on the floor and like, I never saw that before. Okay. Legs gone, like just crazy shit. And it's not like the TV shows, but then it's a constant barrage of other just run and be-do, and up at night. And then coffee. It's like, and like heavy meals and like, I should need a fucking drink, blah, 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 And then my wife's fucking up my ass and like, I got, the kids are fucking nuts. Like, oh God, I can't fucking breathe. My fucking back's killing me. My fucking shoulder, my hip, then I get an injury. Oh, it was a job. Maybe it was everything else. And then that was just the tipping point. The straw that broke the camel's back. Because when my back went out, nothing I did made it better. And I was like, what? I just was irritable and I couldn't sleep and life was not good. Your life is just like stagnant. It's like fucking compressing you. It was compressing me physically. I was like, I never felt like that. And then it was like a fucking breath. And I remember when the tremors got to my diaphragm, and I'm speaking to it like people know what I'm talking about. You have to experience it, right? It's this, and we do that. We want people to experience it. That's why we want in person. We're fucking hands-on providers. Like we get into people, and the reactions we're getting is like what I feel, and I'm like, you got to keep going because it's getting more. You're getting more into it. You're not there yet. It's going to be like a culmination of layers and layers of stuff because it could be the littlest thing from your childhood. You don't remember it, but your body's got it. Happened. Like I got probably when I was like in middle school, like I remember I had to walk home like a mile, walk up, and you had like new backpack. I try to steal your backpack. I was like I was trying to rationalize it. I'm like, no, man, let me just go home. I got homework. I'll come back. I'll bring you the bag. Like, trying to make him a deal. Like, don't worry about it. And this kid was walking down the block. He knew him. He was like, all right, leave him alone. He's my neighbor, whatever. But it was like, oh my God, like I'm going to get fucking robbed right now. It was so scary. I was by myself. I'm like 7th grade. I don't know. Like, I'm not a fucking big kid. I'm like baseball kid, whatever. And I'm like, this fucking big dude's going to rob me. I'm like, fuck. I felt horrible. The cops came to my house, the whole thing. Like, that's probably in there because that resonated in my stomach. Like, fuck. And those chains of, that is what Cefoli was talking about. Like, you just getting so tight and everything's getting fucking compressed. And then TRE is a way for your body. That mechanism's innate. It's in our DNA. Like, you just got to activate it, turn it on. It's like, all right, it goes where it needs. It's like unraveling layers of shit. And then when it hits a certain point, you might get that emotional tie to it, come back out on the way out. And it's like a rush. And I was like, he helped me get there. He was like, the hands-on portion of the sessions is what really made it work the best. Finally, because you could like dabble with it, but unless you understand from experience and you're doing it, and we can go, that's why we guide people through it. It's amazing to see it happen, and then it's amazing to hear them. I know we're doing something like really big. It's really going to heal a lot of people because the immediate body response, like, what the fuck was that? And they're like, I feel so relaxed. Like, and like you get like, wow, if I continue to do that, it's just more relaxing, more parasympathetic, and more. My blood pressure, we have blood pressure that goes down immediately. SPO goes up, resting heart rate drops. We measured it. It was like, let's get the hook them up and then do it and then come back, hook them up again. See what happens. And you learn about it, and that's what it does. It's the nervous system just relaxing. Just got fucking going. Jesus Christ. I remember like we did an intervention where he like laid on my chest, like he hugged me, right? This guy like from wherever from around the world, I don't know, old man, come here. And it was like, and I breath everything out, pushing on you. It was like, holy shit. The foot grounding was, you just felt a release of that. Thank fucking God I don't have to control this anymore. It was like he touched my feet. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it was crazy. The grounding of the nervous system was so impactful. It really was. And it wasn't, because I never experienced that before. I work out, I fucking train, I do cardio, I do this, I do eat. And it was like, it was a release that I was like, holy fuck, that felt so good. I want more of that. I want more of that. I want to fucking chill. I need to do that because everything's crazy. I'm going the other way. So I can become resilient to the bullshit that we have to deal with. That's the healing. You're unraveling the past and you're continuing to mitigate because you're not stopping it. So you have to work on this. And then you can work on this.
Yeah.
Or at the same time. But it has to be learned and taught. And then you're able to take it. It's like a free tool almost, and we want to provide that for our guys. Like they're coming back for counseling. They're doing, like, we're talking to these organizations and the counseling services units. And I had a friend of mine that was in a very recent fire, and he's like, I'm never going on the truck. He got caught in a flash flood. He was on fire. So I had worked with him a couple of times, just private, in his house, just to try to help him, and it's a very new event. So we're learning that, like, it takes a lot of time. It's exhausting actually for him, like it wears him out too much. So it's like, probably too soon because the body's still adjusting to everything. It's just what happened. It's like, fuck, man, it's crazy. His hands like going like this, crazy. Because like that's the trauma. It's like, fuck, his hand was shaking because it feels it. It's different from your thought. Does that make sense? It's not the brain, it's the system. And it's automatic, boom.
Yeah.
And it registers and it's like tightens down and it's like that fear response, which you can't stop. Like a loud noise, you're gonna go, oh shit, you're not doing that. It's like your body's like, it knows and it senses, and it's like that's how it protects itself, right? So it's trying to protect it, but it's locking it down with tension. And the more it's doing that over time, right, your body, your blood pressure's up because you're so sympathetic all the time. We got like 50% of our line of duties are cardiac. Because from hypertension, even hypertension, I believe it's like 50% related to all cardiac deaths. So it's kind of the same ratios. It makes sense. But we're just at a higher risk. And it's because you're just constantly sympathetically responding to things and like handling and trauma and boom, and you're taking it in your body. So of course your brain, they want to go to your brain because they're not in that, they're not doing the work. That's why for us it's fuck yourself, because you went to college and learned how to talk to people. Come do my shit. Let's have a beer and fucking talk about it. And that's how we let it go. Well, everybody used to let it go like that. Now it's different, but now everybody's like segregated. Everybody thinks they're connected more. Everybody's just fucking looking at a phone. So we're losing a lot of that connectivity that heals us too, because that bonding, it's tough. And honestly, I lost a lot of that in my life with the situation I was in when I had my daughter. Even if events came up at work, I'm home. I wanted to be home. I'm still not married yet. And I'm like, I want to be able to, we had a dog, how to get rid of the dog, the whole thing sucked, but like, it was a pivotal moment. And it changed me to say, prioritize that versus the camaraderie that I was used to as a firefighter. So as a lieutenant, I lost my firehouse. It's like you get taken out and that's like your first one you go to, whatever. It was amazing. And guys were awesome. Everybody was into it. It was super, super like, and then I went to like, got promoted and different companies and like trying to figure out your career and all that stuff. But in the meantime, you're trying to restart after something traumatic happened in your life, an upheaval, and then deal with like how to manage and mitigate everything. And then it wears on you. And then you go forward and then you find an answer. You have to act on it because it's such a positive effect and it's replicating. I've not heard like, we keep going like, is anybody going to say anything really bad? Like nobody ever says anything bad. They're like, holy shit, because everybody feels it. They just don't know what they're interpreting it like you guys have it worse. The same thing as me talking about a veteran, right? A civilian talking to a firefighter, but you're still dealing with shit. I'm dealing with that shit plus my shit. It's just, but you got to understand, like it's a health issue that could be subsided and dealt with in the body, from the body.
Yeah, and you mentioned that these retirees have it maybe not worse, but they have a sweet spot in your heart where you want to help these retirees. Perhaps they have some sort of extra or special issues on top of what you have. But yeah, you should not forget that you are still in it. Take care of yourself. But what are some of the special circumstances for retirees and how TRE has or might help them?
Well, yeah, I have personal friends that are retired, like from the trade center days, from the 90s. My neighbors. I have a lot of firemen on my block. Typically, we're in the suburbs. This is where we all live. And they're walking around hurt. They're injured. They have surgeries. They have pain. Okay, so then we have to go and say, hey, bro, like, come and try this because I know that you've been through a lot of shit. Fucking know it. You know it. You went on 25 fucking years, bro. I know you got some shit going on. Everybody's got shit. I don't care. It's what it is. It's because it's imprinted in your body. Come on, man. And bring them back to the tribe. Like, come into the community again. Because now you're not in the firehouse anymore. You've lost it. The guys you worked with are gone. Like, they moved away. The guys fucking died. There's so many guys dropping dead. It's crazy. Maybe we can help avoid that a little bit. Like, I want to impact the numbers, but it has to, you can't just sit on it. You can't sit on it and keep it for yourself. It's like, it felt like it had to be given out. The ideas keep coming out about these workshops and like, how do we get fundraising? Like, I want to get fundraising. I want to have this available very soon to like the first group of retirees. Like, that's like a huge goal right now. Just fucking laser focused on that. Like 20 guys, like that's all we need to do right now. I want to fucking do this because I see what's happening inside when we're working with people. And we're like, wow, this is fucking big, man. This is going to help a lot of people. It's because we're doing it not with just firefighters. We're doing it with support staff, people that work in fire prevention and EMS and like EMS people. Like, and it's like everybody's getting a super positive response and feedback is really, really good. And it's all working very well. And it's like, wow, should be what we're doing. That's why like, we got to get this to retirees. How do we do that? We got to get like a nonprofit, I guess, open it up, name it. It took a fucking huge thing. The process, it's like it unfolded in front of us, like, and then you're like, wow, this feels really good. This is working. Talking with different organizations, like really getting people on board, but fine tuning to make sure we have our ducks in a row, like, but it's working. Like people want this. We have waiting lists for our workshops. It's such a proud moment now. But a year ago, it's like, my fucking back hurts. That's it. And then fucking, it was like, boom, try this. All right, cool. Cefoli, come in. First agency train. We gotta keep doing this. We gotta build a workshop out. I wanted to do clinics initially. It was gonna be more. I was trying to get the idea of a workshop clinic that you could do like movement prep and form training and like corrective exercise stuff, and like that was where I was thinking. So it just changed a little bit.
Yeah, but it's like money and insurance and all these things that like are not in place. It's hard. It's hard when things are not like FDA approved and all this and that, and insurance doesn't cover it, and la la la.
No, it's not. It's actually been quite seamless right now because it's coming from a good place, right? And ultimately, it sits well with me. And I'm like, it makes sense. It makes sense that we have something a message to share, right? I want to be able to speak like this. This is who I am. I don't think I've ever been able to really kind of just put it all together. And I'm kind of living it now. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is who I'm coming with. This is why we're doing it. And doing stuff like this is important. I want to share more stuff.
And you've also been sharing it with as a parent too. Like you said, this has been helping you with your daughter as a parent.
Yeah.
The principles from TRE.
Well, she, like I said, she's in a split home for 10 years. So now it's crazy. I'm like, I turned and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of becoming a different person the way my perspective is. I'm like, she has to be a different person in both homes. We don't really talk, but we don't like not talk. We just kind of like drop offs or whatever. But we don't do things together. Like I just went to like her 5th grade graduation. I took them out to lunch, and that was kind of like the only time we were like together since we got divorced. And that impacts her a lot. And she's got a lot of, and has a early vaccine injury. She's on this. She had like early intervention, all that stuff. At home, that was a big thing. Like who's coming to the house? Like the lady has to come to my house, come to that house. Even that was stressful. It's crazy. And then she's amazing. But I'm like, she's tense because her muscles hurt when you touch them. So I'm like, okay, maybe like this will help. And when we worked with Cefoli, we were like, how young can you go? And he said probably like 7 or 8. We like the youngest. So I'm like, my daughter's 12. Let me see. And I spoke with the clinicians in TRE, and I'm like, okay, any advice? Because my field is not, now this is their field, right? So we work with TRE to make sure like we're able to provide the right service, and learn more about different populations. So we're like global providers, and then we're developing agency training for agencies for like in-house. So like our staff at FDNY can train TRE to firefighters, and we're developing that training with them throughout this process because this is what happened. Like we got agency trained, and we were the first ones, but we worked with Cefoli, and we got into it. And when he got into it with me, he got the tremors to come up and release my diaphragm, and I had a huge flooding event where I was like sobbing for a while. But it was immediately tied to the event of 2008. It was like, I know where that's from. Fucking 15 years ago. Holy shit. I don't know how I know that was that, but it was fucking that. A little while later, I had another one, and that was the Joey, where the dad voice, I just fucking can't. I can't just unhear it, as his son, because now I'm a father. I'm a father of like 3 boys now. Well, my wife now, I didn't think I was going to have any more children. I have 3 boys now. And, like they're mine.
Yeah, this is changing also how you maybe tap into and express your emotions and communicate and your relationships and all of that.
I don't, like, this is new. Like this shit right here, this salty discharge never fucking happens, bro. It would be like, no fucking crying, bro. No fucking crying. Yeah. Stop it, right?
Yeah. And
it would never happen. And I think it only happened on like a couple of like really big occasions. A lot of it had to do with talking to, the parents of a young firefighter that passed away, like at a repass. My role as the health fitness director, we have programs, and I was in charge when one of them, ultimately passed away. And I'm like, that was excruciating. I had to talk to the wife of the lieutenant that I was with, calling with Mayday, like this fucking guy's down, nobody's in the fucking apartment. Where's everybody? Everybody was always at a fire. There's nobody around. Where the fuck is everybody? I think I'm fucking dying here. Get this guy out. Where's the nozzle? Open the nozzle. Open the nozzle. Where is it? Guys are getting him out. What's my fucking job now? Get the fucking fire. Put on fire. Protect the guys. fucking 2.5. Like, fuck, it's fucking hot in here. Jesus Christ. It was like one of those wind impacted. They call it wind impacted now. It was like, blows in, fucking torches, wind goes out, a little better, back and forth, right? Man, it was fucking, the hottest I've ever been. I was like, I'm gonna fucking get burnt. Like, all these thoughts get in your head. Can't get this fucking nozzle. I'm like, I gotta pull this nozzle like 10 fucking feet. I gotta get down that hallway. That's the fucking fire. I gotta get that way. I'm pulling this fucking line, bro, backwards, like into this, like, not even thinking, like, hey, move over out of the flow path, you dope, like, you fucking idiot. So I go down, open the fucking nozzle again. We gotta get the fuck out of here. My friend Joe comes around the corner. He's like, your fucking eyes, dude, were like an owl. Like, I have big, like, eyeballs. Like, when, make fun or whatever. But, like, it's like, boom, like, holy fuck. He's like, he looked at me. He's like, I was like, we gotta get the fuck out and close this fucking door. This is not happening. Because you got, like, everyone in the hallway getting the guy out. Nobody's thinking about the hose. There's a fucking guy. It's one of us. And you gotta it was 70 feet down the hallway. It's like, you gotta get this guy to a stairwell, then down the fucking stairwell, fucking CPR. He was just like, man, fucking guy. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? And fucking, it made me fucking lose my breath again. Holy shit, that's crazy. I feel so much more now, it's crazy. But I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but it's better. Do you think it affects the job itself in positive or negative directions, or it overall makes your life better? That's for sure. But
it's a necessity for doing the job. It's a necessity for doing the job because you have to respond. You have to be able to do your fucking job. It's like, there's a guy down. Somebody's got to call Mayday, get to his feet, pick his feet up. But it's like, you're not thinking, you're not going holy fuck then. Your body's doing holy fuck. Your body's doing holy fuck. And you're going, get his belt, boom, get him out, call the fucking Mayday, where's the fucking nozzle? This ain't working. This is too fucking hot. And you're just going bing, 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 bing. That's it. There's no fucking room for anything else.
There's no time to feel or think or nothing.
There's no room for it. Your body goes, nope. And it's put in a fucking box somewhere, and then you can't find it ever again. unless you're doing something, right? So again, if you're working out, you're doing something to mitigate. So you're probably better than most. Like, you're doing some shit. Like, if you myofascial release, you get massages, like whatever, acupuncture, whatever. These modalities are there because the body is trying to heal. The body's trying to heal. The shit that you feel is the response from that. Like, it's the reaction of being tense. It's the high blood pressure. It's the cardiac stuff. It's the fucking depression, the drinking, the fucking abuse, abusing yourself. You drink, I just want to fucking black out. Like, you just black out. But you're not thinking it. You're just doing it because you're like, I'm still feeling. Up there, I don't feel it anymore. And I'm fucked up.
Yeah. And
then I had to get away from that. I had to fucking try. I didn't know what was going on until I knew what was going on. And I'm like, now I can backtrack and say, holy shit, okay, I make amends with that. But going forward, how do I want my life to be? How do I want my kids to be? What do I have to teach them? How do I have to be then? I have to be better. I have to be the stern guy. I got to be the teacher, the trainer, the parent, the hugger. Like, my dad was a carpenter, like, he didn't even have it. He didn't even know what his fucking dad is. Like, it crushes him to this day. He's like, but I'm like, Dad, it's me and you, and now we got 3 more. We're fucking good. Like, I don't know where we come from. I know who the fuck we are, though. Right? I tell my sons, I'm like, this is who we are.
But I like your kind of people. There's these people who are alive, but they're stressed and But
this is who Cefolis are.
They're like real human beings, and it's a whole family, I think, too. Sometimes, like, I look at my family, they're all kind of like a bit nuts and stuff, but like something in the blood or something in history. But like, I like these people. I feel like you've got even more of that, maybe.
I'm the course changer. I'm pivoting a little bit in this family.
Yeah.
And I'm putting together what I deem is best for their future.
To help the family.
How are they going to fucking be when they walk through the academy door that I see coming in? I'm like, they ain't going to be like, this motherfucker. This guy's hasn't been taught nothing. That's the problem. Where's the education of this stuff? It's so much information and everybody's out of shape. What the fuck's going on? Because it's not fucking honest. We're all walking around fucked up. And it's simple. There's like simple things we can do. It just takes discipline.
Yeah.
And it takes it from a young age. And my role here is to make sure my guys are getting the work done. And I'm not ashamed about it.
What are some changes that you've seen so far in the work environment, and in terms of like overall communication or stress levels, or just general behavior? Maybe it's a little early to say, but there might be some changes already.
No, it's not early to say. It's absolutely worse.
Okay,
It's absolutely worse these days.
it's worse now.
Is this
Yeah.
tension? You feel it. It's a lot of it's from the shutdown on the treatment of people, the divide, the people at each other's noses at different levels in the organization. It's like less camaraderie. There's like a lot of division.
It's even more tense and separated. Yeah.
There's a lot of like uncertainty, and like it's tense. It's fucking stressful. It's more stressful.
Yeah.
So it's adding to it. It's chronic. So there's chronic stress. It's constant.
And TRE is tension and trauma release, right? So
Tension and trauma release.
tension and trauma release, exactly. What would they need?
You have to do the opposite, right? Is it the only thing? No, but something that we it's a foundational component, because the release, like the reset, is coming. Like you're resetting. That's what my take is of it. It's a reset of the body, a downregulation of the system, a relaxation of everything, and every time you do into your read, you're coming out of a different person, because there's tension patterns in your body that you're used to walking around with every day and moving with and exercising with that are going to be lessened and reduced, and now you're going to reintegrate your body and move differently, and you're going to continue to do that. So as you train and use the other modalities and you put it together as a protocol, you're going to start to mitigate the stress. You're going to start to release the past, trauma and tension. It's going to kind of come out of you. You can keep reintegrating, and you become a different person. And I'm walking in that path right now, because the way I see it, I'm getting more into my body. And when I get more into my body, that's the whole point. We have to get from outside, like on the phones, like holy shit, like all this input and wars, and news guys still read the newspaper. Newspaper's crazy. Everything's negative, man. Get the fuck out of here. Turn the news off. I don't hear shit. I need quiet. I need peace.
Yeah.
I got to be able to think, right? I want to focus on what are we doing here? So I have a 20-year career. Like, what's next? This came out of like that, all of that process. And it's like, now we're here. Okay, now we're actually starting this. We got a lot of feedback. Awesome. It feels good because I'm into it. I can feel again. It's putting me on a purposeful path. And I have people that finally they're coming together, and we're like lifting each other up, and we're bringing these guys into rooms, and we're sitting on the floor and we're talking about it afterwards. And it's like, you would never do that in the kitchen yet, but like it's a real because we're all there for the same point. Like, we're fucked up. Why are you showing up to this? Why is there a waiting list for the workshops? Because people are like hearing about it, and they're like,
yeah,
I'm fucked up. I gotta probably go to this thing. Right? like me, like I'm like, yeah, oh my God.
But it's giving you a larger purpose, and it's giving a larger shared purpose and a new kind of sort of connection and brotherhood.
Oh man, it's giving me a life again, bro. I can crush a day at home now. It's like nonstop. I fucking love, it's like going to work. It's like going to a fire. Because it's crazy. I got a bunch of crazy people running around the house all day. Monster trucks everywhere. No shirts. Who wants a bathing suit, right? Who wants no underwear? Fucking, I'm hungry. I need a snack. We got to do 10 loads of laundry. I got to power wash the fucking concrete. Oh, I got to work tonight. I got to get the fuck out of the house. I got to do this all done and make sure dinner's cooked. And, all right, everybody set up? All right, I'm going to work. 24 hours. Come back. 24 hours. Come back. What happened at work? It was good to her. But shit happens, man. And you're bombarded with it. You don't talk about it here. Yeah. Everything was great, honey. I came home. And that's the most grateful thing. I made it home. All right, great. I miss my kids, bro. I feel, oh man. I was like, oh, I feel like I miss my kids. I'm like, wow, that was a good feeling. That's new.
You didn't feel as much before?
Never. Yeah. It's odd. Because now I'm like, I don't know who I am. I'm finding out who I am now. Again, like it's like, what do you like? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you, I don't know really. I really don't know. What music do I like? It's just like, I do the same. It's like, now I'm questioning it. It's making me almost like question everything. All right. Is this what, all right, that's what I'm feeling. I'm in tune with the feeling. I do miss my kids. Let me call them rather than not put the phone call in, not the FaceTime call, Like that's a decision that impacts their lives too. It's another conversation with that rather than none. So
Yeah.
so the little things matter. And that's when put the phone down, give them the time. I got to take them on hikes. I got to work out on them. They got to help me in the store. They got to help me cook. It's annoying as fuck. It's chaos. Chaos over convenience. It's chaos over convenience. I don't want to just put them on an iPad. Is it balance of life? Fuck it. I got 5 things to do really quick. They got to go on it. But we make it a point not to give it to them. They're playing. They're outside. Kids on the block. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's hanging out. It's communal. It's that's a very relaxing thing because your family's. If you're not home for a day, I wasn't home like four days this week. No overnight, 3 nights. It's like she's okay because they got it. They always hang out. Like it's like it takes the place of the dad, a little bit where you get a release. So that helps the stress. You need connection with people.
It's almost like time slows down too a little bit. Where like I've noticed when I'm calm and relaxed, I start noticing these sort of small moments and
you're present.
Before, when I'm in hyperdrive, I'm not present. I'm in the sort of past or whatever. I'm just running through things.
And when you become present, you are like happy with like 10 minutes of something that's going on. It's like, wow, okay, I sit on the stoop, kids are playing. All right, let me just sit here and be here rather than I gotta get inside and start cooking. I gotta get inside and do this. I gotta take a shower. I used to come home like I gotta take a shower. I'll be in work clothes till fucking 9 o'clock at night. You're like, all right, I gotta breathe. All right, breathe. You gotta get the exhale. It like immediately just like down regulates. So when you get like runs after midnight, like you're like, holy fuck. Like anytime really, your heart rate gets like so high, especially if you're at rest. Yeah. So if you're at rest, let's say we rest comfortably. So you're like, holy fuck. It's like woo, like could be 50, 60 beats a minute to 180 beats. Boom, fuck. What is it? Side pole. Fucking get dressed, right? So the breathing it's all the time now. So it's a constant little habit.
Yeah.
And you gotta have these little habits. 10 minutes of TRE, 10 minutes of phone rolling. You breathe when things get like that. It's no different from the chaos of kids fist fighting, screaming like, fuck, what? Guys, calm the fuck down, please. Why are you hitting your brother?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you need more of that.
Yeah, so we focused on TRE today, but we sort of touched on a few of these other things that we're not going to get into, but let's list them off and blast them 100%. Out so people can maybe research them on their own. You've mentioned the exhale, breathing, foam rolling, and some things we should not do. Maybe put away the screen, maybe stop consuming as much or all of the news. Talk about some do's and do nots to help us get us to that sort of state of calm and presence, and where we're back in kind of control of our life.
First, it's not going to happen in a day. It's not perfect. You're gonna have shit going on, and it's gonna be like, what the fuck? Ugh. You gotta put now. The thing is, you gotta get okay. Now what? Stay like that? I'd rather not. I don't want to feel like that ever. It's a fucking horrible feeling. The more you get into 10 minutes of TRE, myofascial release, use a foam roller. Get a foam roller, learn how to use it. Because the myofascial chains are a huge component to this process. We have a lot more to talk about, so don't forget about me. But it's a big part of the process that is healing the body. You got to look at it from the body. We're looking at it from the bottom up. That's our method. That's what's innate in us as our population of first responders. That's why we go there to help with the healing. You can do other things after that. You can do the CBT, right? But how about a cold plunge? How about a cold shower? A cold rinse. I do it with my son. Like, ready for cold rinse? Yeah, because it stimulates your system and it helps your mood. And I'm teaching them this, like these little things, and like they love it. It's a game, and I go and they go and you go but there's a purpose behind it. It's a game. Let's go work out. Let's do push-ups. Let's do this. It's the habits. Like, don't make it such a big fucking deal. Like, if you can do some squats, do some squats. But like, it doesn't have to be an hour-long workout. You got to microdose your fitness. You got to microdose these things in life because it's so crazy. There's no other way to do it. You can't block out enough time because you're constantly doing shit. It's got to blend in. It's got to flow. It got to be a flow state. All right, I got to do this now. I can do this now. But you read your body better. You start to unravel shit, and you're like, all right, I'm fucking sore. I'm just going to do some zone 2 for like 20 minutes. I'm going to ride this bike. I'm going to watch my heart rate because that's helping me with stress. The cardiovascular has absolutely also assisted. And I was like bullshitting. I'm like, I'm not really doing it. I'm working out too fucking hard. Well, fitness unit, fucking 3 workouts a day, going on runs. Like, we break ourselves. We overtrain. And then you start to understand that rest is also important because you're not accounting for the 16-hour mayhem session that you're walking into at 7:30, 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, whatever time you get home, and you have 3 cups of coffee because you're up all fucking night, and you gotta say, all right, I can't go to sleep. People need me. Let's fucking go to work. And it's like off the races. When the fuck's bedtime? I need a fucking drink. I need a fucking drink. It's like how long can I last? And I don't really drink. I don't drink, but like, dude, it's like if I'm cooking, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a glass of fucking wine, and it's okay. I'm not fucking blacking out hangovers because I can't handle my feelings. I acknowledge it's fucking insanity when you raise kids and boys, and you're trying to make it work, and you haven't slept in I don't know how long. But I need a fucking drink because I'm making, and then I'm like, all right, let's put some music on. TV's off. Like, let's fucking just have dinner. Let's light a fire pit. Let's marshmallows rather than let's watch a ball game and you're on the iPad and I'm like eating fucking shit. I'm following nutrition. I'm like, I want to feel better because my boys have to understand what it's like to be a fucking man or else we're all fucked. Society's going to be fucked, bro.
Yeah.
You need fucking people that are warriors out there. And it's like attacked. I'm not, you know, I'm getting a little agitated because it's like, it's a sin. It's like you're going against, you want people like that. You wave to them. We're on the fight. You know, we're fucking coming. You're calling us because you want us to come. You're calling cops. You're calling firemen. You're calling EMS because you're your worst fucking day. You want me to be like this. Trust me. You want me to be able to handle this shit. You don't want me to fucking crumble. All right. So we gotta have methods and the best practice. And this is what I've learned. In the last year. And I'm like, it's helping me so much. And I'm putting all the pieces together. Like you said, all the little things. Like when we had the tech issues, I'm foam rolling. I do it all the time. Because what else am I going to do? What am I going to do? Watch Netflix? No, I'm going to foam roll. I'm going to open up I haven't read a newspaper, dude. I'm like, turn that shit off. I don't give a fuck. Sit here in silence, bro. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about a job that happened recently. Let's talk about, let's connect again. You got to bring people back to the brotherhood and the sisterhood and like, you know, men, women, it doesn't matter. As long as you're doing this job and have a purpose, you're doing a good thing, you know? But this is pulling me out of it's pulling me out of that role. And I'm looking at it from another perspective of leaving, you know, I'm focusing on my family and this mission. I feel like it's gravitating me that way, you know? It's pulling me that way. So I appreciate all the time. You know, I know it's been a little bit, but yeah.
And we could talk more about raising boys maybe next time or something. Unless you want to do a little just quick spiel on it, we could do that now, or we could do it next time. We can also talk more about those other body-based modalities.
I'll do the trailer. I'll give you the trailer.
Yeah, give us a little trailer, a little sneak peek.
Yeah. Little trailer.
Yeah, trailer, just a little trailer.
It's the work you're doing now that it relates. I see the people at different stages, right? So my vision of boys now is completely different from a few years ago because I didn't have them, and it changes how what are they going to be? Are they going to be like the people I see walking around? Kids, kids can't shake your hand. They don't look in your eyes. I'm like, that's not how I see this going. I have to be in the trenches. It's going to be very hard work. It's super hard. But I can handle it. So that's what we do. And it's like, it's going to be the work. I got to mold these kids and I got to give them what I've learned because I didn't know it as a kid. I didn't know all these things. If they get it earlier, I think it's going to really benefit them because the world they're living in is, you know, a little screwy out there and there's tension and there's a lot of weird shit happening. I don't know what's going to be like in 20 years. Hopefully through work like this, you spread a better message, you know, like, people take care of themselves. People feel better. If you feel better in your body, you're on top of the world. But if there's a pain nagging you or something nagging you, you're irritable to every fucking body, and your energy is like in the tank, and you're going around like, and everybody's fucked up, and you see it because we're involved in everything. We see everybody. We're in people's homes, like we see how people live. It's like stagnant energy, you know, and it's dysfunction. It's obesity, right? It's also in the firefighter population. We have weight issues in our department. We had to start a fitness camp for people to get put light duty for weight, 300 fucking pounds. And we had to develop a program and do all this stuff to be like, yo, what's going on here? We're dying of heart attacks. Guys dying after retirement. You retire in 1 year. I want to live. I want to feel like now I know that what attacked me, I'm doing everything I can in a way that I can, right? That's the difference. You can't force it in. You got to become it and ingrain it in your life. If your kids got to come with you to the park when you do pull-ups, the kids come to the park, they go down a slide, you bang at your fucking pull-ups, and you be that fucking weirdo. And I'm 100% doing that all the time. And I don't give a fuck because it's helping me to get it in, and I feel more okay with it. Yeah. Like, okay, I did my pull-ups, good. Like I got that in, awesome. I got to run in, cool. I got this in. We do drills, like so. I incorporate them, and they're coming with me. They're coming with me because I'm seeking better health, better awareness, better body senses, better intuition, better creativity. Because that's the whole side that was locked away for so long, and now it's like it's springing up again because it's the release of that through the TRE was like the big one.
Yeah. And
now you're in like these other. You're looking at the breathing. Oh, that's absolutely part of the polyvagal theory. It's also right part of the nervous system. Okay, cool. What else? Myofascial chains and all. And like, okay, we're talking about these things. When I was in the academy, we were running 5 miles a day, doing like arm circles with 10-pound dumbbells till arms fell off. Nobody was discussing the effects of the career you get into. We're teaching the probationary firefighter, teaching people that are coming through the academy, TRE, to have as a tool going forward. So it's in the front as well. It's not just, and it's our membership, and then it's retiree. It's like, so retirees are gone already. They're in the ether. They're out there. We got to pull them back in. We got to get the message out. So we got to get organizations that to become aware of it. We sample it to everybody. We give it to people. Like, try it. Staff, we work with people, and they're like, wow, they get the same result. We're like, okay, so now how do we get these workshops off the fucking ground? We got to get capital, right? You got to get place, you got to get stuff, to get like foam rollers, you got to get equipment. Well, we can do it, right? Because the message is clear. Let's help people. We're helping our guys that have been a service for the community, the city, the nation, the world. These people of service should have, from people of service, like the best method. It's not the clinician side yet. We got to fix our body so we can feel it. We unravel shit. We've become alive again. We pulsate. The diaphragm pulsates. The body's frozen when you're in sympathetic state. You're like locked down in that tension pattern, right? So I'm trying to illustrate it so you understand. I think I have a good way of doing it, though. I think that it makes sense to you. I hope it makes sense that you clamp down, then you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
And then it opens up your potential for more resiliency, which makes us better at our job, or better in our retirement, or better with our family, or better with our kids. Because if you're better in every aspect, because it's directing your thoughts and your feelings now differently, and your reaction is different, and your ability to handle stress is like much better. So you come out of it like fucking rising up like a phoenix. Like you're coming out like, wow, like there's so much potential if you're going to tune into that. And I do, because I wanted that. You have to want to feel better. You have to want to like figure out what the fuck is going on, because you're getting bombarded. There's fucking planes with chemtrails. You got the food, you got news, you got Instagram. Who's fucking right? Who's wrong? Fucking virtual, fake fucking ads, AI, bombarded, bro. We didn't grow up like this. It's like your mind's spinning.
Yeah, no, we're not ready for this.
You need peace, and you got to go peace, calm, settle in my body, not external. And this is the mechanisms and the modalities that we're kind of getting across to people and learning more about and seeing. And I base, as a trainer, my results on my abilities to my feedback, the data. Are there physical results? And what are we talking about? And I've been told many times that my clients are like, I should just fire my psychiatrist. Because when you train and you do some of the stuff in a workout and you're kind of fitting these things into their lifestyle, they're like, and you talk about it, because everybody brings your shit to the trainers. It's like a therapy session. They're talking, you have it for an hour, you're talking about stuff, you're talking about life, talking about what's bothering you, what's ailing you, right? Done it for fucking 2 decades. I've done it with every probies and guys in the gym and everywhere, family members, everybody. And I'm just like, just gotta do this, this, and this, and this, And you may not always live like that, but you know what you got to do to get back to a better place. But now it's like at another level. Now it's really coming together because it's specific to our population. It's specific to our needs. So instead of looking at Joe Schmo who's doing whatever workout, your needs are different. They're individualized. Your experience is different. You have to look at it as a component of what you're feeling and how you're operating, how your performance is. I ran faster after TRE when I got that huge release. I actually timed the mile. It was like significant. I was like, and it was easier. It was like, wow, I'm moving better. You feel it physically, like fuck, man. I used to hate running, but maybe I was just fucking tight, and it sucked, and my legs hurt, and I'm like, I hate running. No, asshole, your body's just like this. You're trying to like force workouts, constant workouts, constantly chasing like health and like be strong. And you're like, man, I'm just fucking tired and my elbows hurt, my fucking neck hurts. And it's like, God damn it, I had to keep going. And it was like, oh, until you break. And then you get an injury or you get a surgery and you're like, oh yeah, I tore my shoulder. I had a job, but you've been fucked up for 15 years already. And then you had that job and it just was like, snap, fuck, surgery, anchors, fucking neck fusions, guys are miserable. My neighbor, his neck's still fucked up. He's been out like 20 years. That guy, I have him shake. I'm trying it, but it's got to be like you got to be willing to just go and try something new and like have an experience that's innate and it's like in your body and not control it. We're control freaks, and TRE has to be about letting go, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest feedbacks is that people try to tremor better. Like, I gotta beat the last one, or like fucking your body's gonna do whatever the hell it's gonna do, and you're not controlling it. We have to let go of that. That's a big component to a good session, and like not a good session, because you're trying to think about it, and you're like you fucking not just letting your body feel what's going on, and it's gonna send it where it needs to go to release the tension as it's needed, and wherever the worst spot is. Hot spots come up, like people like, my back hurts now. It didn't make an injury, but it really revealed the hot spot. We do interventions, so it's like a hands-on. We talk to them. We have safeties. It's a whole thing, but it's different from anything we've had available. You know, like we never had something like that available. It's available now, and it's like now people are like, oh, my friend told me about that. Oh, my partner did that, and he's doing it with his kid, and like they love it, and they watch the videos because there's videos on YouTube from Berselli and. You know, and we're creating the content, we're creating the information, we're creating videos about it to like awareness level. People like, hey, I heard about that. Workshops going forward, people waiting lists. We have to do one every month now. And we're making sure it's a great event for people to be like, holy shit. And we can send them with it as a tool, and they can now use it in their private life. You watch TV with it if you want. I like music. I like frequency music for it, like hertz, like nice, calming. And I do realize that I like that now, which is interesting, right? Like I feel good with that. I'm like, all right, I do that now. I listen to fucking frequencies. Like that's weird, but like I don't care anymore because I really want to learn about myself again. And what's my real, like I'm here for another, I don't know, hopefully a long time, but I know for the fact I cut 10 years from the goddamn sleep deprivation, you know, like, so like, all right, so now I got to really like keep myself together so I can raise my children. I can be there and fucking burn them in races as long as I can. Like just want to, come on, let's race. And then my son cries. I'm like, yeah, I get faster. Sorry. Yeah, I gotta be daddy because I'm working at it.
Maybe as a final note, like imagine some, I don't want to put this imagination in your head, but imagine somehow you're like dead much sooner than you imagined and you weren't able to get all these messages out anymore. You got a lot of it out today, but just sort of like, what's like the one thing you'd want to say to your sons or to these firefighters? Like you've already said a lot of it, but like just a couple final last sentences, like this is it.
That would be a sad time, you know? That's something you would never say before, but I try to keep that as a present feeling all the time. And because what if you don't come home?
Yeah.
And one of my close friends had that happen, you know, and I felt like this was something we can work on with him. And because the call that his wife got was horrific. You know, the family's dynamic is included with what we're trying to do. It's like, we can work with families, you know, we can work with kids. I work with my daughter. You know, I saw a change in my daughter that was drastic. And it was just an introduction. She didn't like it at first. It was a lot of crying, a lot of released crying, because your diaphragm releases when you cry or laugh. We have people that laugh, because they like tickles them. but it's pulsation of the body. You're opening up life again. Breathe in, breathe out, right? That's what's happening. So I tell my daughter, now I realize, I'm like, babe, it's okay to cry. Keep crying. Get it out. And you know what? A couple sessions, and then all of a sudden, no crying. Just tremoring. And I'm like, how do you feel, babe? She's like, oh, sleepy, relaxed. Great. Because before you were going crazy because your brothers were chasing you down in the bathroom. And she gets like, she hides. She goes from being alone to being with these nuts and a new, like a 7-month-old now. But he's the best baby. The kids are like fighting, chasing her down, like, because they miss her so much. They want to play. Like, she's like, it's too much. Because she's so tense from being pulled apart for 10 years. What do I say to mommy? What do I say to daddy? Like, how do I act? I'm like, I want you to feel better, babe. I'm like, this will really, if you could just relax.
Yeah.
Her body's tight, tense all the time. She's always on edge. It's part of everything. It's part of the autism. It's part of everything. But it's like, there's something that we can share. And I'm trying to get into my family. Like my wife was doing it when she was pregnant. And now that she had a very traumatic birth for my last child, it's something that I want to put in, but she has to be ready for it. She's still in a place where it's not fully recovered. It was a horrible mistake, I think, that happened with that one. And thank God everybody came out all right. My son's okay. But again, another thing that I start to realize is a real state of trauma that she went through physically that this can help with, because her body registered it. It was a crazy emergency section that happened, and it was out of nowhere. So the last thing she heard it before they gassed her was, "We're trying to save your baby," and they fucking dropped the gas mask on her, and then she's like, "What the fuck?" And she's like knocked out. I'm like, "You're fucked up." I'm like, that is super traumatic. Trying to save your baby. Your baby's gonna die. Wake up. Where's my fucking baby? What the fuck happened? And I feel so bad because I know it'll help, and I can't force it. And she sees me doing it, and I'm like, I'm explaining differently, and I'm like, and I'm registering her anxieties more now. It's exacerbated, and I'm like, and the sleep with the baby, right? So now I'm like equating it. All right, she's getting no sleep. She has trauma. It's crazy all day. Like if I'm not home, her resiliency is not as high as mine because of the work I do. The work I do makes me better at that, mitigating the drunk munchkins that are running around. That feels like causing problems everywhere, leaving toys everywhere, like throwing things, beating each other up. Like it's like she just wants to take a nap, So let her nap. You need a nap, but you probably should shake, babe. You probably should shake. You probably should, come in the gym. I have a whole gym here. I built, for have it on site. We work out here all the time, but somebody has to be ready for TRE, and they have to be at a point where they're starting to recognize things about themselves they don't like.
Yeah.
And then it's honesty, right? So when I tell my stories of, the fire that I was in and the issues with everything I have going on, and I validate that it's a lot for me. It's a lot on me. Okay. Rather than it's not that big of a deal anymore, because it affected so much of my life, but it put me here, so it's a good thing. But now it's a lesson to pass on now, and it's like, okay, we're figuring out some better methods, because there's two things we don't like. We hate change, and we really hate the way things are, and that's a firefighter. And to get something like this in front of a firefighter, it's not easy, but every skeptic has acknowledged that they were skeptical and like whatever, and then now they're like, I fucking get it, feel it, I felt something, and we're like, that's what we're talking about. We've been through it, bro. I'm not some guy I'm not David Briselli coming in and telling you, but I was open to that, and I learned, and now because we're in this position, we have the ability to pass it on to people that will actually listen to us, because it's us. We're saying it. Not like some clinician, not some Harvard degree person.
Right.
It's the brotherhood.
No, it's great, and thank you for coming on today. It's sort of a rare glimpse, a rare window into the real mind, body, and life of a firefighter. Like you said, they're not really the most of sharing kind of breed of people, and you've sort of shown us all of this, and also that maybe this isn't the typical podcast interview. We're getting wild and showing all the storms and the fires and swearing, and it's great.
It is what it is, bro.
It's human. No, it's human. It's human. Like I hate the podcast where they're just like super polished and perfect, and here we're just talking, and this is the real stuff. This is great.
Well, you got to be honest, man. It's real. I'm okay with that. That's how I feel. It's what I feel. It's my perspective. It's my experience. I'm living it. I don't talk about things I don't really do. You know, I'll learn about things and maybe I'll start trying to put them into my thing and see how I respond. And I'm trying to test myself or whatever. But I'm really only just trying to feel better. I want to feel better every day. I want to feel connected to things again. It's a good feeling when you're with your family and like, it's like feel something again, you know, and you're at work and you're actually like more like even keeled, because guys, it gets the guys, they get crazy, man. There's fighting. There's like, you know, you deal with public people that are coming at you. I got called the devil. Like, go burn in hell, devil, the other day from some crazy guy, like, because I'm trying to check his stove. I'm like, just let me in, bro. Like, your smoke alarm's going off. He's like, no, I didn't do nothing. I'm like, dude, just open the fucking door. Let me just make sure you didn't like burn the cabinet. I don't want to be there. It's 12 o'clock at night. Like, what do you burnt your food. You're calling me a devil, go burn in hell. Fuck you. I can't say that. But I'm like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck? You know, I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, that's how, like, and you ask my guys, like, I'll snap, bro. But like, I want to be like this. But I'm like, yo, turn your like, I'm going to break your fucking alarm.
Yeah.
How about that? But I'm like, this guy's crazy. He's not here. He's getting to me. Just take a breath. It's fucking good. What the hell's going on in the world?
Yeah.
Why am I this guy's mom right now? You know, like, whatever. You burnt the food. Nothing going on. You're lying. You're lying to me. Just let me check the stove. What the fuck? Your neighbor's called. The thing's beeping. Imagine, you go into like a place, the guy's had a alarm going off. How long was that alarm going off? Like 3 weeks. Like, are you not insane by now? I think beep every 5 minutes. Beep. 3 weeks. Change the battery. It's what the fuck? I'm like, God, man, I gotta train my kids. I gotta make sure they eat good. I gotta like, right? They change themselves. They go to the bathroom.
What a wild world.
Right? It's milestones. Like, all right, they get pissed. They get no more diapers. Yes, like, let's fucking go, man. Level up, boys. Let's go. But you got to do the work. Because I can talk about it all day. There's just some crazy people out there. There's so many crazy people.
But yeah. And all this talking and words and education is great. But like you said, just being there and finding a way to be present and finding a way to like look at your children in the eyes and hey, I'm here, and they're feeling the love and all that is what's most important. But it's hard to be there sometimes when you got all this crazy, fire devil stuff going on in the background.
Can you imagine that? What the fuck? And then you got like protests and, you know, am I gonna get shot tonight? Maybe. Like, dude, there used to be shootings at the firehouse like all the time. Like, people getting shot everywhere. Cones, like the bullet cones on the apparatus floor.
Why would anyone have anything against firefighters? Firefighters are not like police officers. I mean, did they just lump them in with the police officers or something? Why would anyone hate the firefighters?
You know, they could listen, because listen, you might have not had a good experience with a firefighter. You might have like busted in your apartment like to check something, and you blame him, but he's doing his fucking job.
Okay, yeah. You
gotta get in, you gotta check, you gotta search, right? You gotta do shit.
Yeah.
Or you break, you know, you don't want this in your house, man. Shit's getting broken. It's like this thing with clumsy oxes in this big gear with masks on and fire, and you like got hooks and you're smashing you're taking apart the whole fucking shit.
And there's fire. Fire's like devilish, right? And all that stuff. Yeah, you didn't bring in fire, but you're trying to help. But they're associating you with those flames. So, I didn't bring the flames. I'm putting the fire flames out.
And you got to listen. And guys get agitated a lot on this job, and I probably was one of them. You know. And I'm like, we're just guests here, man. We're just trying to help. Like, I'm an adult. I am here to whatever you called for. You think is a big problem. Let me know what it is. Let me see if I can mitigate this for you. But most of the time, it's just people's anxiety, and they flip out. And they're like, oh my God, like, oh my, it's like, oh my God. So everybody's fucked. But we just bury that side. It's like, you know, oh, you crashed to a pole. All right, we gotta do a tourniquet. All right, we gotta take the door. You can't let yourself get like insane at a scene. Can't do it. Guys like, oh my God, like, shut the fuck. Like, you have to do like the hand on the shoulder, like, all right, bro. Take a breath. Take a breath, which means the diaphragmatic belly breath. Doesn't mean into your fucking chest like this, because you're not breathing adequately. Because that's a feedback loop in the sympathetic response. And this is what we see all the probie classes coming in. They're fucking stressed out coming in. They're like, They're not even breathing right. Fuck, we got to teach them breathing now. We got to teach them this. We got to teach them that. We got to teach them recovery.
And using your nose, not mouth breathing, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, breathe in, easy, out purse lips. Purse lips we like. Exhale, long exhale, lower the heart rate. You know, we take them through our courses with gear. We do breathing. I'm like, yo, take 5 breaths. And then we're going to get going. We're going to visualize. We're going to, you know, slide deck in your head, mental slide deck, so you can pull on information while you're fucking operating. And you can evaluate the size up. You can hear radio, right? And then you're teaching your kids that, the same shit. You're teaching that now because it's just a habit. It's getting your brain to wire a certain way and then be able to do a job under complete, insane, stressful conditions because you're a human being like Joe Schmo over here, but you're the one going into the fire building. You're the one going, fucking A, man, let's go to work. Because it's somebody's worst day, but that's what you're there for. And it becomes your identity. So got to take care of our guys and girls.
Yeah. Well, any resources you like to share for people who want to do some of this TRE or to connect with you or anything that you've got in mind?
We have Fire Tribe at Gmail. It's FYRTRIBE at Gmail. We're in the infancy stages of this movement, this not-for-profit that we've, you know, based on this logo and the mission of what we're talking about, right? And if anyone wants to talk about it, I would love to talk about it, how we can get this thing off the ground. I'm a big dumb fireman. Never did a not-for-profit. So what we thought it was the best idea to get it to our retirees, get it out to the nation, you know, there's firefighters all over. I have people that we know the other areas that I've spoken with and they've been in horrible fires and lost guys or went be the guys to rescue guys. And I can attest to that. It's going to be an issue. So, and what I speak on, they're like, it sounds like the same thing. It's resonating with me, bro. Like, you know, everything you're saying makes sense. And because when you talk to firefighters long enough, it's like they had something going on. And yeah, all right, let's fix it. Like, come on, man, come into the tribe, come into the community again. We'll do it together, right? And in the rooms with the guys, like everybody's nervous system is like going. So with this connection there's like energy there, and everybody gets a really good experience. So it's different from when you're doing it at home. It's weird, you know. Like you could do it by yourself, you could do it with the group, but it's like a good event. We put music. It's like music on, like good frequency music. Into it with your body, you get in there, you lose yourself a little bit. People are like, how long was that? We're like, what did it feel like? 10 minutes? It was like, oh, it was like 30 minutes. We're like, oh, shit, man. It was like, it went by like that. Because they're out of their head and in their body. So it's all good. It works well. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. I'm happy and impressed that the firefighters are able to receive this, because you could imagine some dude in a suit coming in with this it's like presentations or something, and like they're like, "Ew, get away, you nasty guy."
We've been there. I've been yeah.
But Berselli went in there and they like received him, and you're talking, and they're like, "Okay, yeah."
Well, you know why he was accepted, and I'll tell you why he's accepted. Because when we came together about the idea, and I had the physical reaction, and like Adrian's looking at me and Anthony, and we started to fuck around with this, and we're like, "Yo, man, like I'm starting to feel really good." Then I'm like, we're bringing this guy in, and your reputation, your proposal, what you're explaining to people, it had to be carefully crafted to make sense, so they would pick it up and let this guy come train us. It was like a part of the mission. You had to get it done. We had to do it for our guys now. We had to figure out how to put this in. We put it in Proby School. We put it with our memberships. We want to do it with most people. We have people come trying it all the time. Come on, try it. I had a guy in New Zealand try it when he was into the academy. Loved it. Connected on Instagram. You know, people, you know, I'm talking about TRE. People contacted me to talk about it. It's feeling good. So I'm like, great, let's keep doing this. This is maybe what I'm supposed to do now. You know, like I'm a captain. I run the fitness unit. I have almost 20 years, but now I'm like, my family's young. What am I going to do? Like, am I going to stay? Am I going to go? Like, what's going on with my ex-wife? Is she going to move? Like, kids, like the shots for the kids. My kids are not vaccinated at all, so they can't even go to school in New York. I'm like, my head's like ringing. Like, what are we going to do? Homeschool? Because when my daughter being injured and the issues that came from that, we held off, and then COVID happened. I'm like, it was a fucked up situation, and I'm like, my kids are not going to get shit, and they're doing amazing, and I'm like, it's a decision it's a personal decision, and it was based on issues I had with my daughter, and then educating myself and learning more about stuff. And I'm like, it's not the same as when I was a kid. Makes sense. look at data, look at graphs. Like we can just look it up, and it's like I'm going to keep my boys away from that stuff for right now, and I'm going to do proactive things with them. I'm going to keep them. I'm going to keep them in a good, healthy state on purpose, and that's going to be chaotic. It's going to take a lot of work. So I have to be the best I can be for as long as I can be, so I can be that mentor, be the father, and continue the mission. And it's all the same shit. It's becoming like who we are. This is who we are now. This is what we got to do. We have like 1 million national firefighters. You got people all over the world. You have law enforcement. You have EMS. EMS is even sometimes has more shit going on because they're constantly looking at horrible death scenes. You know, when you're pumping on somebody's chest, or a kid dies, or there's like child abuse or something like that. Those guys have a lot of issues. Those guys have a lot of the same, probably more than sometimes firefighters. And they're in that ambulance all day, you know, and they're constantly like, it's like underpaid. It's like the city's getting crazy. People get stabbed. You got to watch your back all the time. They're out in the streets a lot. So it's like, yeah, all right, that makes sense. But they have to be included, you know. It's inclusion too. Like it's bringing every bureau and department together. We did it with a lot of people. A lot of people sampled it, and everybody had a positive effect on them immediately. Enough so to you know, if you continue with the education and you can get them a few sessions with the providers, then you're able to kind of like make it stick. If you do it once, you might not make it stick. You know, you're like, oh, that was weird. Like me, like it was weird. I didn't really get it till like a little later, and now I'm like really starting to like get into it, and I'm like excited about it. It's so cool to see the results of people that are now following you down the path. I'm like, in a year from now, like the tremors change, like injury sites. I have my pec tear. This is like growing, developing again after like 20 years because it's now reached that point in the tremor, and it's like it's going right here, my whole shoulder, chest. Every time I do it, it's like gets to that position, and it's like bah, 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 bah. And I remember like Bruce Lee when he used
it's like moving in different parts of the body.
It's automatically making muscle contractions
and parts of your memory and everything too. I guess everything.
Yeah, and like you can get it to go to your site. Like I have like if you have like surgery, you can like think about it, and it will almost direct it to it in a way. But some people have so many layers, like it doesn't pass. Like, oh, I didn't get it past my hips or whatever. But I'm like, you got layers, man. So just give it time. Like it's not like, oh my God, this is great, I'm fixed. It's like, no. When does that ever work for anything? Like nutrition, fitness? No, you got to do it. You got to program it. You got to have a plan of action and habit and non-negotiable, because that is probably the root of like how your life can start to get improved, how you can feel better. Ultimately, that's what we're looking for. We drink to feel better, to not feel, right? Because what we feel doesn't feel good. It haunts you. And then you're in your house and you're trying to play with your kids, or like love your wife and like be affectionate. Be affectionate. Oh, dude, the divorces and like that is a whole podcast. It's like, how do you not just have like a relationship and then be like you have no emotion? You've been told that your both marriages. You're cold. Why are you so like this? All I want is a hug. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm a man. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's partially true. Partially that's not me as a biological entity, right? I'm different. And men are generally different. They're not that emotional. They're not that parasympathetic, more sympathetic, right? More leaning that way. But I would like to access that again so my marriage doesn't fucking fall apart. Because that's all she's asking me for is a hug. When all I'm trying to give her is the fucking answer to everything. And I just can't I'm still not there yet, you know? Like, it's like, because it feels weird to love. Yeah, it feels weird. I can do it with my kids. It feels a little weird with my daughter because I think we missed a connection there. There's something missing there that I'm trying to get back, because she was so loving as a kid too. Like she was so, and now she's got like anxiety, like a little, I could see it. It's not like diagnosed or anything, but she's been in therapy because of court. It's like years of therapy. I'm just like, fuck. She just needs to foam roll. Yeah. And she won't do it because it hurts her legs because it's so tight.
No, I remember one of the first times I got hugged. I guess like my grandma maybe hugged me, but mostly I wasn't hugged. And then I was like, I must have been like 20 years old or something. And my buddy gave me this hug, and I just impulsively just like, I just like jumped back like he was attacking me or something. And he was like, dude, what's up, man? And now I'm a hugger. Now I like hugging and stuff. But it was like the first 20, 25 years of my life where I was like, I was like, whoa,
fuck off me. Yeah. And like, you know, you said you like that. Why do you like that? I do. I make fun of you guys. Oh, you look like you're down. You want a hug? You want a hug? And they're like, nah. I'm like, come on, I'll give you a hug. And would you like the bro hug? Like, come on, man. It's like, yeah, bro, connection. Now go back to
Yeah.
watching wherever the fuck you are on your phone. Like wake the fuck up. Life's here, bro, and life is right now. So we all limited on time, right? I'm gonna die. I don't want to die like soon. I want to die
Yeah.
later, like when appropriate. Like I don't even believe. I don't even like. It doesn't matter. Like you got to feel what you're feeling. When you go against your gut, bad things happen, and it's to put you back somewhere where you feel good. When I went through with my ex-wife, it was like I had a feeling, but I felt pressure because of a plan that was in place that was from like ingrained in me. Like you gotta get, you get in this age, like it's like normal, get a house, get married, kid, and you're dating. Like like, I don't know, nothing's really standing out. And it's like, all right, this is working well, and like, but then it's like, man, I feel pressure, I feel pressure. And then honestly, it wound up being like a bad situation. That was a lot of lessons learned, and I'm like, we got to heal from that. And then I'm telling you, everything matters, and it was that whole thing led me to finish unit, led me to blah blah blah, and then this, and then that, and those experiences that I went through were for a reason. It was so I could speak on it, and it actually was a big deal. It was meant for a purpose now. Because I talk to guys, and there's so many guys that have been through a lot of shit that probably should be at the workshops, but they're not there yet because they don't know about enough. And maybe it's like the firehouse is like, that's bullshit, that's fucking yoga, that's blah, blah, blah. When we started doing yoga with the probes, like the guys come in from like for training, they're like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, mobility, bro. Like you can't even squat. Your back hurts all the time. You're not stretching. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh shit. You don't know what a foam roller is. People don't even know what that fucking thing is. And I'm like, in my world, it's the best thing ever. And I'm like, how do you not know about this?
They're fantastic. I love my foam roller.
It's like the algorithm. It's like my life algorithm literally is some not relevant in someone else's world. It's like, it's the same thing. Like when you don't see my reels, because that's my reels, then you have your reels and you're like, what are you talking? What was that video you sent me? I can't access it. I don't follow that person. It's completely separate. So you're in another world. I live a certain way. And people are like, what the hell is that thing? I'm like, are you crazy? Like this is the best. This is what helps you feel better. You say you work out, right? You say you're fucking in shape or keeping yourself together. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. Or you're doing something that's not beneficial to the purpose of the function of a firefighter first, or a father, strong fucking man, a strong man that does shit and gets shit done and leads, and not like, I don't know what to do. Like this is too hard for me, because that's what you send your kids out, and it's like, what are you getting back? You got to be in the fucking trenches, man. Because from my perspective, what I see later, because I see them later. I see them at 30, at 25, 21. And I'm looking at them and I'm asking them questions, and like, they don't learn any of this shit. They don't know any of it, what I'm talking about. But this is to prepare yourself, to build a body, to build your mind strong and resilient, to be a firefighter. It has to come from sports and like exercise, and like it's hard work and grit and fucking challenges. And you look at challenges as a game, like level up, handle it. You'll learn something new. You might fuck up, and I fucked up a lot, and you fail forward. And if you look at it from that perspective, like it's a setup, not a setback. It's a set up for the next thing. And the storyline makes sense now, because it was all of that pivotal moment. We have something new. Spend my time in this earth doing something else right now, like a shift. It feels great to see the reactions in people when they're like, I need something. I need this, because there's fucking suffering out there, and there's anxiety to the fucking roof. The kids have anxiety. The food's fucking killing people. Still eating fucking dyes in their cereal. I'm like, dude, I ate the Firehouse yesterday. I'm like, it's fucking garbage, bro. TSP, fucking Red 40. What are you? You're a fucking 40-year-old guy. What are you doing? What are you giving now? What are your children getting? How do you feel every day? It's disrupting your whole shit. And you don't know. I know that because my world, I see that. They're like looking at fucking CNN or a fucking Netflix series for 10 hours straight, or whatever, like porn or fucking betting. Don't even talk about that. Like guys they open betting up in New York. Another coping fucking thing to work a ton of hours of overtime and bet and fucking go out drinking and fucking buy expensive cars because you got.
Wait, what is betting? What is that?
Sports betting. They legalized it in New York.
Oh, betting, yeah.
It's like a drug for guys. On your phone, bang, bang, bang. Bet on this, bet on that. guys are going nuts. And some guys are going crazy with it. It's not good for us. It's like alcohol.
Alcohol, porn, gambling, your phone, you get the whole package. Yeah, God.
Pills, like after a surgery, get a surgery, and then here's your pills. There's no like option for like maybe something different, maybe something organic, maybe something like, like this is not covered. Like, no, you're gonna get, here's your fucking pills and here's your painkiller, and now you hooked on that, and then you're doing fucking heroin in the bathroom or Metratech, or you're fucking, overdosing, or you hang yourself. It's like, we gotta get in there, man. Guys are fucking suffering, girls are suffering.
Yeah.
You want them, and also you want us to be on our fucking A game. No? We have to be so to build resiliency in your fucking body makes you what they want responding to their crisis. Because then you're substandard. If your posture's fucked up, if you're socially off inward now, you're fucking your hormones are fucked up. Your body fat's up. 3 a.m, boom, you have a fucking heart attack. In the firehouse, you drop fucking dead. And they don't know where you are. It's fucking happened. And you guys wake up and they're like, this guy's dead 5 hours already, or something like that. Or like he didn't show up for the run, or like at home, fucking kill yourself. It fucking happens. So I feel this is what we need. And I feel we have to discuss it. And I've spoken to people and I get a lot of head nods, and it just keeps me going. I keep talking about it. So, I mean, I'm not trying to aggravate anyone, or I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I hope it's a good thing. I see it as a feedback is a good thing. So it's there. So, we're on the right track. So I appreciate your time. I mean, this was very long, but
yeah,
as many of my colleagues will tell you, I do have a tendency to run on.
No, it's fantastic. I do too. So it's actually nice for me. People tell me, and I think that they tell you, oh no, I like listening. And I'm always the one, blah, 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 blah on that end, or I have been traditionally. I think through this podcast, I've learned to listen a little bit better. But dude, I got the same thing. And I do enjoy talking to people like you. Like, you're full of ideas, full of information that I could not access anywhere else. Where am I going to find a book on this? Where am I going to find a podcast on this information? It's just not there. So I'm always happy to listen to people like you.
Well, we would like to write something. I think that was a goal. A goal would be like to maybe get some information out. Yeah, whatever it is. People need to know about stuff like this. I think it's important for the whole picture to be presented.
Yeah.
So people can interpret it however they want. This is how I see it. I see the change. I feel a change. I physically, I'm better. Lowest body fat. My strength's getting there. I'm doing the cardio, like I'm doing the breath work, I'm doing TRE, I'm doing the foam rolling. I'm conscious of what I'm eating. I'm constantly doing more of it. So it's a world that I'm living in, and it's like becoming. I'm trying to spread it out because I feel the more people give me the feedback, the more excited I get. It's similar to how my business was, nutrition. When we started to really rock and roll, people were just seeing results of people, and I'm like, we're helping a lot of people like drop a lot of weight. It feels awesome, and now I'm giving them like training advice and all that stuff. And it was working really well, and we were really successful. And people were following what we were saying because it was also trying to they felt better. When you release a lot of weight, you feel amazing compared to what you felt like. You're eating different, you're doing different things, right? It's just stimulating those systems in the body again that I know what's going to happen. You're going to absolutely feel better. As long as you're doing it correctly, as long as you're pacing it out and taking your time and being consistent and having a good mindset. And my old training company was Eat, Think, Move. I changed the way you eat, change the way you think, change the way you move. Then I had Goal Crush Fitness, Crush Your Goals, change that. And now we have Fire Tribe. So it's not my first, it's just progression of training now into a different sense of it. It like evolved, right? Because we were looking at consulting or something like to give best practices out. We wanted to do something to give back because we saw results, we saw data. We have an issue here in the population that they're getting deconditioned, they're stressed out, breathing's off. That was like the spawn of it. And the idea of that kind of merged into the workshops and the clinics and now TRE as a base and all these other things that we teach this, this is all good stuff. Let's put it together because it all goes along with mitigating the stress response in the body. That's it.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm going to close this off in a second, let you hopefully get some sleep, unless you want to do the night shift again, podcast version.
To be honest, I'm like charged up right now. It feels really good. And now it's giving me a lot of energy, unfortunately. So
I know I'm charged up too, but it's good for me because it's noon.
It's all right. It's like 12:30. You know what is funny though, dude? Like it could be, I've been up so many nights, dude, like 12:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, sleep an hour, 6:30, coffee, kid to school, got to work, blah, 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 and go 24, come back tomorrow. you're like on autopilot sometimes. But then now I'm able to check in a little bit more and like do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like I know I shouldn't work out today. All right, I'm gonna go hard. I have energy for a good workout. So you're feeling everything out rather than scheduling everything so much, because then your life is like more at ease, and it works when you let go, and you're not trying to control it as much. And now we're fucking control freaks.
Yeah.
You can't control TRE and you can't control the world, but you can kind of like loosen up a little bit and understand and read things as opportunities or diversions or whatever. And like, then you just go through life and it's like, okay, let's make it work. Let's make it work. Let's do our best. Let's do our best. Good job. Check the box today on these 10 things, did these tasks, right? Took care of the kids, spent time one-on-one, bedtime story. Make sure you do that. You know, you're fucking tired. You want to watch TV. Oh, got to read my book. Got to put them to bed right. Got to close the lights down, because going to sleep is important. That's a value I have of sleep, because I haven't gotten so much of it. So I teach my kids, you got to go to bed, right time, read a book, no fucking iPads. It's life. This is all part of recovery and resiliency, and then moving forward and being able to become better people. And if you affect more people, you got a better society, and then everybody feels, it kind of spreads out. And I think it's gaining some momentum right now, which is good, because the conversations like this it's just honesty. It's real, and I'm okay with that. And people can take their opinions and either way, and that's fine, because it's just, I have to get it out. It's almost like part of the therapy too, like this, because this helps me to like, it's always up here. And when I show my guys my notes, they're like, you look like the what's that, with the Mind movie, like The Beautiful Mind. It's like, that's how it's fucking chaos, dude. And it's like all these ideas, all these thoughts, all these things.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I get it into a message? It's fucking hard, dude. And it's constant.
Yeah. And it's bit by bit. You do podcast by podcast and talk by talk and event by event, and you just get more and more clear on it.
It's funny. Like I was like, maybe I want to do podcasts. And then I think about it, go on them here and there. Like fun. It's fun. But like, that was a thought became reality, because you're open to the opportunities. This guy emailed me. I don't know. Good conversation. Like, I'm open to things where I was very closed off to a lot. And I felt like that for a long time. And I'm like,
yeah,
I got to come back out, because when I was out before, and I was like, I found like some stride, but I was still fucked up. And then I had issues there still, because they weren't addressed. So it went down again, and I'm like, fuck. I'm not doing nothing. I don't want to talk to nobody. And you go inside, because that's part of the sympathetic response, is that you're like closed off to socialization. And it goes worse now. Now you have another thing. Oh, now I really don't have to be social, because I can fucking look at this thing all day, right? So it goes hand in hand. So now it's like a huge expansion of like possibility of being like, knowing that we're not here forever, knowing that you're doing a great service. There's a reason for everyone on this fucking planet to go. You have to go through that whole experience to go, aha. And it's also not the end. It's just the next thing. That your life is a fucking a road somewhere, and your body will die, but you have to live a purposeful life. You have to live a good life, and you may not learn it until like you're 40 something years old, right? But I've always had that intuition. It's been battling. It's been like hitting a wall this whole time. It's finally like aha moment, like, and I attribute it to the release of a lot of the shit and unpacking it all, but through the body rather than the mind, because that's what we do. That's who we are. That's the type of person that does the job. And that's why we need it. It's like taking care of us. We always take care of ourselves. Like, we always come together with like fundraisers and like, parties and like stuff like that. And to be honest, I missed a lot of that because of my divorce. And I was like, if I have my daughter, I can't do anything. So I cut out a lot of the extracurricular stuff, the socialization stuff. And I was just taking care of my responsibilities. And then it was financial. And then you got to work more. And then you have scheduling issues, and it's like, you just, okay, right? But I wasn't in a place to really mitigate that well. So it kind of always caused problem in my marriage when we were trying to do things, plan trips. It was always a fucking problem. I need my daughter for this. No, like, fuck with you a little bit. Grind your gears for decades. Go to money, refinance the house, take money out of your pension because you got to pay off fucking credit cards. Like, man, I'm still alive though. And now I'm like, you got to go through the hard shit, man. And whatever your shit is, it's your shit. It's not mine. Mine is mine. And it affected me for a fact. And now it's like, figure it out. We're on the right path now. And it feels good. This feels good. My guys come with me. They're amazing people. It's like you can't do it without other people that see things in the same way or bump into you and they share their thought. It becomes your, like he imprinted it on me. Like my friend, he's like, when he showed me, that was a transfer to me. And then it was the reverberation of that energy saying, bro, we got to get trained on this. We got to get our guys trained on this. We got to do workshops. We gotta blah, blah, blah. That's it. It's not the clinic. It's the workshop. It's TRE. It's healing. It's somatic. It's something that we're not doing. It's something we're missing. And I have it. I feel it. I'm like, holy shit. When I feel something and it hits and it resonates and it makes an aha moment of all the years you've been dealing with stuff. Man, that makes a lot of sense now. Why my injuries kept going year to year to year to year, the neck. Then it was like external to internal to the vertebrae because I was slowly getting fucking compressed until my neck bulged and I couldn't turn my head for months. And I'm like, fuck. And then my back went out. And it was like a stressful job. It was like a third alarm. I was an acting battalion chief, out of my element. And it was a culmination of everything. And then that very like mentally challenging, I would say, because you're in a different position. And it was a long duration and my back was kind of like, fuck. And then for like 2 months, I was rolling, stretching, nothing was working. And that was it. And then we had TRE come in and save it.
Well, now you've got TRE, you've got these other tools. Things are never going to be perfect. There's always kind of going to be this chaos in life, but I guess bit by bit, little pull up in the park by pull up in the park.
You have the tools to mitigate now, right? You minimize it, but put the tools in place because what else are you going to do? You're going to feel like shit your whole life? I don't want to feel like shit.
Well, thank you so much, Rob. This conversation can really continue on for, I think, thousands of hours, but let's just take a little break. Hopefully you can get a little rest tonight. If not, you can do some workout in your gym till 4 a.m. Thanks again. Keep it up. And
I'm probably going to be honest, I'm going to do 20 minutes of TRE because it helps you go to sleep. So, if anything you do before bed, you get a nice restful sleep. So it's actually going to help me to like come down. Like I can process this a little too, and I can do that. I got no kids up, so nobody's gonna be jumping on me, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll just
actually on that note, because it's actually pertinent to you right now in this moment. It's like midnight over there, probably.
Yeah.
What are some other sort of quick ways into getting your nerve system calmed down before you sleep? There's TRE. Andrew Huberman talks about the physiological side. There's different breathing tactics. Are any others that you think you might use tonight to calm yourself down?
Well, I'm definitely gonna do deep slow breathing. I would do TRE. I would foam roll too. Those three I would do physically, and then probably if I go in, I'd probably have like some kind of a recovery, supplement on magnesium, stuff like that, ashwagandha. And that's usually my routine, like something like that.
Yeah.
But again, it might be a night where it's 5 o'clock and I'm grilling and I'm gonna crack a beer, and and I don't like to drink in front of my kids. I try not to, and I don't usually have more than one or two anymore. But I can easily go and get a hangover, which I can't afford a hangover any day in my life. First hangover with a child, you never make that mistake again. So, haven't had one in a long time. And it helps because, again, nobody's perfect and it's still part of existence, but it's too much like the only coping mechanism. I think there's other things you can do for your body, like, what you could take in and use for your brain and brain health and all this other stuff. There's like functional mushroom like powders. Like I started with that a little bit. I do like some things I'm not getting in my food. I kind of look at it like, all right, what am I not really eating? I need to get powdered like greens and just let me put good shit in. Let me do this stuff. Let me do the heart rate zone 2. Let me do some high intensity stuff. Let me start running again. Let me I do more TRE, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I feel pretty good. I'm handling every fucking day. Even though sometimes you get down, you're like, fuck, man, it's so hard. Don't be a bitch. DBB. Don't be a bitch. Just keep going. And then get your rest when you can. Read your body. If you feel like you need to close your eyes and you can, I do it for 10 minutes, quick, because you have to feel it. You're sore, do zone 2, don't work out, foam roll, do TRE, work out the next day. Compound lift, right? Keep your strength, keep your muscle as a man, do calisthenics, work out with your kids, go to the park, play, be youthful, and then learn if, as you open up your body, you're able to do these things again. Sometimes you're so tight. Berselli was great. He was like, you're not old, you're tight. And I had it written on my chalkboard here for a while. And I'm going to start introducing it to clients. Like if I have, I have a studio and I privately train for a long time. And I built it. If you build it, they will come. This thing was like a dilapidated pool house. I'm like, I'm going to build a gym and I'm going to document building it. And then people are going to want to train with me based on my.
Yeah, it looks like a proper gym, like the kind you pay $80 a month for or whatever. It looks like
It's a
nice
studio.
space.
It's a small studio, private. And, it's
Yeah.
where we get down and we talk about shit and we like get what that person needs. Right? Some people need some TRE now. I'm like, okay, that's the reset. That's a little bit, and I'm able to provide that within whatever we do. And it's like, I'm just here to like guide people. I don't want to limit it to like, hey, you got to come 3 days a week and work out. It's like, it's not about that. It's like, if you need me to talk to you about nutrition, if you need me about to foam roll, to do TRE, to do strength training, aerobic capacity, home program, we talk, we do nutrition, aspects. We cover the bases to make sure the person has the general understanding that the goal that they're looking at is a smart goal. And it's the same thing when it comes to this. Like if you can recover and then you can set smart goals and you can kind of like not put the pressure on yourself. Like I have to go to the gym this time. Because even though I built it on purpose because I wanted to have one for me. I don't want to go to the gym anymore because it was it's distracting in my brain. So I like to be where I can work in private and really get after like some things I want to try and feel out. But for a long time, I couldn't feel my workouts. I feel a lot, like I was telling you before, like certain areas of the body with a tremor, it's like coming alive again. Like I had atrophy in my calf, in my right calf, and when I had plantar fasciitis, it kind of shut off. It shut down the muscle because the gait was off, right? So your gait gets disrupted, you move dysfunctionally, and then muscles, one compensates, one shuts off. And trauma and stress also pull apart that nervous system, so it might shut off things and you're not connected to the body anymore, right? You're outside the body, you don't feel anymore. So this is at a level now that I'm noticing. So the level I'm noticing, because I'm training, is that the tissue is building where it never was building for a long time. And I'm doing a lot less volume than I used to do. I rest more. I'm aware that my days home are active days. They're not nothing. I have a ranch house. I could do 50,000 steps in my house in a day with my family.
And also, thank you for putting out the fires out there in the real world, bringing people back to life. Same in the fire station with people's nervous systems, and hopefully, in a wider world of firefighters out there, and emergency workers and anybody helping putting out the fires within and without, and bringing people back to life a little bit. So, thank you, Rob, and thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you. I had a good time. It was a good experience. I hope to do more of these, and I hope the information really resonated with somebody. Even if it's one person, like even if it's you, right? That's a good thing because, I think the story really holds a lot of water. Like when it comes to understanding and relating to things. So I don't want to talk about. I'm like Adrian can tell you everything about what's going on in the technical sense. And that's not who I am. And that's my thing. This is why it's able to go forward because it's connecting why people are going to support it in a way where if I was to read TRE, I probably wouldn't get it. And I'd be like, it's fucking bullshit, because you're typical, I don't know. But when you get it in the body, because we're innate beings of feeling things, right? And we want to get a result right away. It throws a left hook, and it's like, what the fuck was that? That was the weirdest. It was it's always weird. It was fucking insane. What the fuck was that? I feel so calm though. The sense of calmness, and the sense of we gotta do a lot of this shit. We need a lot of this shit, and then you just tie it to everything else, and then you live it, and you're like, see, people. A guy was I saw a guy the other day. He's like, yeah, you look very different from a year ago. Because a year ago, I was fucking broken, depressed, but it was here. I was still doing everything, but I was fucked. And I was like, I didn't know which way was up. And it was that didn't just happen. That wasn't just that didn't just happen. This is timber! What? Because you're just grinding through it for decades. Sludging through fucking mud and just trying to make progress and setbacks and fucking depression and insanity and then shut down and everybody's crazy and you wake up and you fucking like, what the fuck is going on with me? And then something just bumps into you. It's like, that is going to help me a lot more right now. Now I'm like, there's so much more to go. There's so much, like, I want to showcase like the story. Like, it's not ending. It's just beginning. It's just the beginning of something that it's happening physically, personally, emotionally, in my family. And it's also connecting people. My neighbors are doing it. Like, it's like a thing. You know, my clients will be doing it. Like, people at work do it. I do it with people in the firehouse. The guys doing it, people. The guys in my fitness unit are doing it. We're going to get ADD trained. It's like it's fucking happening because everybody's starting to realize, yeah, man, this makes sense. We do want to feel good. We do want to be our best. You know, the city deserves it, and they need to support us so we can be better for them. And then after we're done with our service, we want to have a life that's happy, a life that's full of joy and emotion, instead of I'm still drinking on a Tuesday, playing golf, and, you know, just in a loop of the surgery you had and the pain and, like, you know, oh, the guy, I don't know anybody in the firehouse anymore, like, and this guy moved away, and, you know, my friend died because he had 9/11 cancer, and, like, you know, this guy is fucking batshit crazy, like, you know, and we can drink.
Yeah. And now you can get into your body. You can do TRE. You can breathe. You could do your foam rolling, and there's other ways out that might serve you better in the end and help you actually relax a little bit here and there. Thank you for sharing your experiences today, your stories, your tools, this sort of unique glimpse into your life and the larger life of firefighters and people like them. Hopefully, you can help change that world, reduce some of that tenseness and tension in there, and stress and everything, and lighten up the world, while hopefully still putting out the fires. Yeah, good stuff, and keep it going. I'm looking forward to keeping this conversation going as well.
Yeah, and thank you for having me on. You know, Fire Tribe is on Instagram. It's nothing. We don't have much. We like to get some things rolling, some information out. Like, these are goals, right? And I'm very goal oriented. I like to have them. I like to have a big picture. I like to have these things that happen. So, like, when I talk to my team, and I'm like, you know, we're starting this. We got to figure this shit out. Like, we don't fucking know how it's going to really go, but the mood is right. The people are feeling it. And, like, you just got to figure out, like, the how to. And I think I'm not opposed to asking for help. You know, I always ask for help now because, like, we're helpers, but we're like, we want to. This is a foreign thing for us, and we're trying to navigate it. And it's nice to get support from people and, like, get ideas and stuff like that. So, Instagram, we have, like, at Fire Tribe. It's fire_tribe. It's FYR. And we picked the golden flame as a part of the logo because it's like a resurrection. It's like a rebirth. Like, it's energy, right? And the cup is the tribe. Like, we want to, the guys that, you know, we got to bring people back together. And it's like the mission of what it is. And the logo is like such an ordeal, you know. Like, we don't have to make a logo, but I felt like it had to represent something, you know, good. And my wife's a little bit like of a what they call a light worker, like, kind of like, you know, spiritual, you know. She's like, you read about the golden flame. I'm like, like, what color should it be? Like, red, orange, like the golden flame. And I read it up. I'm like, that's fucking perfect because it's how I feel. I feel like you stifled in this way. Now you're like, like, it's a rebirth. Like, I'm moving forward again. Like, it made sense. And then Adrian was like, we need it, like, in the Y and the cup. And these are all things that we've gone down the rabbit hole with to, like, make it a real thing from nothing. It's a really good feeling because it's in a good place. It's coming from experience, and it's coming to provide relief because there's a mental health epidemic. There's crises, and there's suicide rates are up, and counseling usage is way up. So I'm not the one saying there's a problem. I'm the one reading there's a problem, and I'm the one living the problem, and I'm also the one now that's with the rest of us that are going along with this are like, yeah, man, we're getting behind this a little bit. But unfortunately, we have guys that can't get the resources, right? Because it's not offered. Where is it offered ever? You know, we've talked to the clinicians. They're excited about it because it's an approach that they don't have to take on themselves. They're willing to see how it plays out. And they really don't know about it because it's been overseas for so long. So now it's like, okay, we're bringing it to the forefront with us, and who's in a better position to be the first to do it? New York City. the biggest, like the best, right?
Yeah, no.
Known worldwide. I don't know. It seemed right. It seemed like a good point to stand on. And for me, it's a very personal journey, and it's like, I would really like other people to feel better in their life so they can be better, because that's the values that I hold. Now, maybe not when I was younger and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, or I didn't know my direction, or I went through all my shit and I was like blocked from it. But now I feel like this is what has to be said.
Yeah.
I have great guys with a lot of great information, and I lean on them all the time. I'm not, anything special. I'm just a guy trying to do good work and manage the chaos as best I can without it destroying me or my family. So we have to help them, and it transmits through your family life, and it helps that as well, and brings people together, and you're more in tune with what's going on in your little 3-foot circle. And I'm always saying, go and just get back to your circle, man. Like, just keep it simple. Don't worry about bullshit, because it's just distraction. The most important thing is how you're living your life and what you're doing daily. You're holding doors for people. When you go out on purpose, like you're saying hi to people, you're making eye contact, people don't even look in your eye when they're out there. How you doing? So we have a lot of issues in society. This could be a start of a big thing. I don't know, but right now it's going, and I feel it. So hopefully, you can. I don't know if you've experienced TRE yet.
I've done it through YouTube and stuff. Now, I haven't done it the proper way, I don't think. I've got a sample of it. I think the trailer version, essentially. Yeah.
Right. The beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning is like, did you have any tremors?
I was shaking. Yeah, I was shaking. My legs were moving and stuff. They're kind of running.
So it worked. That you got to get connected, right?
Yeah.
We do the awareness, right? The awareness is the workshops where you get to feel it. You got to connect with it. They got to like plug me in. Oh, I get it now. Get some information. You learn. You do some things. You get the stories. You're like, yep. And then we need resources now, right? This is where we're at. How do you get film and education to people? You need resources. We have to get people with us. So there's people that are hearing the message and they're like, hey, I want to help you. One of my guys is like, I want to donate the guy to draw the logo, start the logo. I like it. We have another guy, I'll help you do some video right now because I like what you guys are doing. So it's like the donation of time right now. It's people hearing this exact story I speak on. This is just normal. I tell this to everyone that I speak to, if they listen long enough.
Well, you've been in the flames. You've been out of the flames. You're kind of showing us all how we can balance our life within and without. These firefighters, they probably need it the most, or I guess there are others, people actually in wars. But firefighters they're up there in terms of needing all this. And someone like you who's seen both sides, who've been in both sides, is exactly it.
There's military guys that do TRE. There's people, there's police, there's guys it's like little, in America, it's like spots. It's like little spots. Because we're a different society. We're not really open to that like somatic stuff because it's not what's on Instagram. Everybody's working out. That's what they think fitness, like health is. Like a physique. It's a lot, so many layers to it. And you have to be open to body work and like things that that your body has the ability to kind of like heal itself. Right? It's made to do that if you give it the opportunity. And we get stifled with everything, and the nutrition and the stress and the workload and the hustle and bustle and the traffic, and you don't have time to just feel yourself. And then you're also not doing the practices, the simple things, because there's too much information out there to kind of sort through. You try this, you try that, you try this, and weight loss is the only thing. No. It's like heal why do you have weight on your body is that you're putting in toxicity and it's storing in your fat, and you're getting more fat because you're not realizing there's a problem, and then you're just going with what feels good and convenient, and you're not understanding though also what to put in. What should I be putting in that I'm not getting, and why that's important to the function of my organism at the root of it. Because it's hard to sort through. So we try, keep it simple things, go back in time, look at what's been done over time. When did things go wrong? You start to say, oh, this makes more sense. This makes more sense. Yeah. I feel better. I'm feeling better. Things are improving. I am not yelling as much. Yeah. I'm not cursing the kids out at 4 years old, like, you motherfuckers. I'm cognizant of it, might still snap once or twice. That's parenting, bro. Like, you got, come in here for a day. My parents go home, they sleep like 14 hours. Like, they go home, they're like, we slept. My mother goes, 12 hours. She goes, we were knocked out. I go, yeah, because it's fucking insanity. Every day of our life. Because you're in it, man, but you're alive, dude. Like, then you realize that you're alive and it's not a burden. It's a blessing, not a burden now. Now it's okay. This is what it is now, and every stage is fucking different. It's like this stage, not that stage. But you're able to evolve with it, and you're resilient, and you're bringing your kids along the same methodology so that as adults, they're a fucking asset. I tell the probies, you gotta be an asset. You're gonna be an asset or a liability in a fire. If you can't do your job, guys will crawl over you to do it. And we'll do it. Because there's no time for you to be like second guessing. It's like, you're gonna fucking fuck you. Boom. You're gonna take the door, bro. Take the door. Which means break the door, get in. If you're banging on the door and you can't get it, this guy's over your shoulder like, give me the fucking tool. Just give me the fucking tool. It's like, you obviously don't know what the fuck you're doing. You didn't rehearse enough, you didn't practice enough, you haven't drilled, you be lazy fuck. Like, you're a liability. You're gonna get somebody killed, right? You don't know your job. You can't do your fucking job, period. What the fuck what's wrong with this? This is life and death. It's frustrating. You can't talk like that. You cannot talk like that right now.
Yeah.
You used to.
Oh, now it's more gentle and it's all censored and stuff now.
People can't even hold the tools now. What are we doing? Why can't we just segregate this to like, all right, we probably want the people that can do the work, right? To come to my kids. What's the fire plan in your house? Get out, nobody's coming. That's going to be like 20 years from now if we don't do something. Get out, the firemen are like scared to go into the building now. They just wanted the benefits. No, man, this is not, that is not here. Do not put people and thinking like that in this service. The shit's on, the oh shit moment, the 1% time, shit's on. You make the fucking phone call, your handicapped grandma's in the bedroom. Who's coming to get grandma? Me, motherfucker. Like, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. People just standing around like, ugh.
Or that. Because it's prevalent in every society now. In every city. And I've been to national, like, world organization mission critical meetings, and there's people in FBI and fucking NASA guys that do the mission control I met. And everybody's saying it's hard to get good people. FBI, fucking SWAT teams, like, everybody had the same problems. I was like, holy, military, special forces guys were all hanging out. I'm like, the people going to shit, like deconditioned, the lowering standards, like, it's everywhere. Because you're bringing it down to the level of people now, where it should stay here and say, we only going to select the people that can do this because it's so important to save lives and property or respond to somebody raping you, busting in the door, getting the law and order back together. It's super important because once it happens like that and people start missing their positions and start not doing their job, it makes problems occur and we could die. It's called the Swiss cheese, right? There's a hole here, guy misses the position here, or girl, whatever. Or somebody's got a mask malfunction, somebody can't make the fire floor because they're going to have a fucking heart attack, their legs, they haven't done enough work so they can't make it up when the elevator's out and they got to climb 20 fucking stories and the guy's on like 12 and he's like, fuck. And you're up there like, where is he? We got to go to work, motherfucker. We have to get up there and then do it. You can't just be like, I got up there. You didn't start yet. So what are you doing sitting on a couch with a belly, drinking beer, fucking on a phone for 12 hours? Get on a foam roller. Go for a run. Get a heart rate monitor. Know that we die of cardiac. Know that your habits are going to kill you. Right. Your job is going to fucking kill you. It's going to keep doing it until you realize there's ways to mitigate it, at least somewhat, so you can leave the job and enjoy what you've built. And you can leave with a clear head, and you can leave with like your family.
Yeah. Yeah, so take care of your body, build the skills, do your job, be a man, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like learn how to relax and get into the parasympathetic mode and turn it off and not get stuck there. This is turning into a conversation like you have. I don't know if you have brothers or sisters, but like sometimes with your brother, for me, my brother, we'll just talk for hours and hours and hours, and they'll go on to like, dude, I got to go to sleep. It's 5 a.m. And I'm afraid it's sort of turning into one of those, those are the best. But at the same time, turning those conversations off is always an issue. It's like, how do we just got to say bye. Just I hang up and you hang up. Let's just go. It's becoming kind of like that. It's fun. I like it. Let's chat again sometime. Maybe it'll be interesting to see how things are. Like, I don't know, say 6 months from now, a year from now, you might be a different person. The tribe might be changing. It'll be interesting. But yeah, anytime. I'm always happy to chat with you. But yeah, let's take a little rest for now and peace out for a bit. Yeah, we'll just do like a 1, 2, 3, goodbye, whatever. Okay. Thanks again, Rob. Talk to you again.
All right.
1, 2, 3, goodbye. Bye.